Grace and peace, everybody. We're back. Happy Thankful Thursday to each and every one of y'all. Prayerfully, you all had a great day. I had a good day today. It was a very peaceful pre-birthday day, and no drama, which is always good. Low drama. Only thing is, Chief Executive Second Born is at an award show for high school plays, and I might have to go pick her up. And high school musicals. I'm sorry, musical drama teams at high schools in Georgia. It's crazy. But hey, she's excited about it. She's been going to rehearsal for it all week and she's been so excited. So I might have to dip out of here if Lady Dear Woke Christian doesn't go pick her up. So, but that'll be like late. I think she said like 10 o'clock tonight. I said, man, you got to be kidding me. I said, man, that's some crazy work. So anyway, shout out to y'all. Thank y'all so much to everybody who's hopped in on today. This is a Thankful Thursday episode. Okay. I know I told y'all we were going to go over the Georgia gubernatorial debate, which I do have planned. I have it up here on the list ready to go. However, there's some other comedy. There's some other comedy out here that I think is going to stir up some good conversation. So I might forego the gubernatorial debate till tomorrow. Maybe I'll do that for my birthday tomorrow. I don't know how that's a birthday gift, Jason. What are you talking about? I don't know. I'm debating, so I'm kind of stalling even as I'm talking now because I'm promising you, I have some videos that will absolutely have y'all in stitches. I mean, it is some good deep comedy. So anyway, I'm debating which one. I think the gubernatorial is going to catch. It's going to have to get the cut. I think I'm going to just uncut it because it's just. I just think that this is going to be so much funnier. So anyway, shout out to the best live chat on the internet. What's going on, Kim? How are you? How do you, love? Caleb said he's number one up in here. He's up in the building already. There he goes. We got them green hearts in the chat because you can hear. Absolutely. I'm thinking about making the green hearts in the chat. Hoodie, sweatshirt, t-shirt. So stay tuned. Well, I'm glad you caught me as well. I'm glad you did. Oh, yeah. This one right here is comedy. I'm telling you. We're going to look at some. I got something for you. I got something for you today, Mikey. I got something for you. What's going on, Chrissy? How are you? Number 5. Shout out to y'all. Do me a favor, if you don't mind already. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and drop it in the chat. Shout out to Amethyst. She's number 6. She's up in the building. Thank you so much, Amethyst, for popping in here today. All right. Okay. Y'all know I like body cams. And usually on Thankful Thursday, we do body cams, right? So we are going to do one body cam, but I promise you, we're going to watch it 2 different ways. Maybe 3, because so many people have talked about this that I might actually have to bring in more people because it is so funny. It is just so utterly ridiculous. And this is exactly what this person gets. This person lives here in Atlanta, in the metro area. He deserves all of the derision, all of the mockery, all of the fun that people are making. Matter of fact, I personally believe that the police were trolling this guy when they arrested him. Because I've never seen, I'll explain real quick. And let me give you a spoiler. I'm going to spoil it. I'm going to pull up the pictures so y'all can see why I think the police were trolling this guy. I've never seen a mugshot like this. And you're like, well, Jason, what are you talking about, Jason? Hold on 1 second. I've never seen a mugshot or an arrest photo, let me say it like that, an arrest photo like this. And if this is a good example right here. All right, if you're probably already aware, I'm talking about T.I.'s son. His name is King Harris, right? Well, he got arrested in Gwinnett County. Shout out to Gwinnett County. Good job. He got arrested in Gwinnett County, but he was wearing a very unique outfit when he got arrested. And again, I have seen so many arrest videos, so many mugshots, right? I've seen so many of them, but I've never seen one like this issued by the police. And I'm like, why did they do this? I'm wondering why they did this. And I truly believe that the police were trolling this guy. So lay of the land real quick. King Harris, he is a horrible young man. Horrible. he stays in trouble. He done been arrested. I'm honestly surprised. If he were just a normal Joe, he would have been under the jail, right? He stay arrested. I can think of at least 3, if not 4 instances that I've heard of him getting arrested. And that's just me paying attention. And I don't be paying attention a lot. So he got arrested up in Gwinnett because he got pulled over. He was speeding. He got pulled over. He didn't want to get out the car. Y'all know what happens when you don't want to get out the car. You're going to get out of the car and you're now going to go to jail. Because he had a weapon in the car in plain sight. And the police, for police safety, they said, we need you to get out of the car to separate you from the weapon. He refused to get out of the car. They ended up taking him out of the car and arresting him. Well, when they arrested him, and I'm going to show you the arrest body cam. He's wearing a Pokemon onesie. He's wearing like a onesie like a kid would be wearing, like a child, like your grandson or your son or something like that. Child would be wearing this, but he's like a 22, 21-year-old, supposed to be man, wearing this onesie out in public. It's like 2:00 in the morning, and you out here in public wearing this. So anyway, I think Gwinnett County was trolling him, and because he's a troublemaker here in Atlanta, and shout out to 50 Cent. Shout out to 50 Cent. I have never seen a mugshot, and again, I might have missed it, so I understand it's not the first time, but I've never seen a mugshot where they show your entire body. And I'm like, why did they do this? Why did they put this man? He pulled a little hoodie up on his head. Look at him, looking like a complete and total dolt. He done pulled the little thing up on his head, and they took a photo of him. This is from the police. I'm like, they were trolling him. Shout out to 50 Cent. I love how 50 Cent be trolling. Shout out to 50. Because they caught the Pokemon. They got to catch them all. Yeah, absolutely. So I believe Gwinnett County was trolling them, because I've never seen this and seen a full body mugshot. Why did they do that? Why did they do a full body mugshot? Because they was trolling him. They literally pulled it up over his head, put the whole little hoodie thing up on his head so you can see the Pikachu. I said, they are playing. Shout out to Gwinnett. I love Gwinnett. Y'all's my people. Y'all are my people, Gwinnett. Okay, Jason. Now show me what happened. Can you give me the lay of the land, Jason? What happened? I promise you ain't seen nothing this crazy before. Okay, so here we go. Lay of the land. It's actually not that long. Okay. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear. And there is like
when he's slowed down, but his slowing down is to 60. Yeah, I am doing 61 on a 45, and I am not gaining on him. He is also all over the road. Jesus. Hi, good evening. My name is Officer Lopez with the Gwinnett County Police Department. Reason I'm pulling you over is you're doing over 70 miles an hour in a 45. You didn't know? I got you. You got your driver's license on you? All right. Are you the registered owner of the vehicle? Okay. Do you have a photo or anything like that of your driver's license? Yeah. All right, got you. All right. So, do you mind stepping out and we're going to talk right here real quick back here?
About what?
You need to step out of the vehicle.
Step out for what?
There's a firearm in this vehicle. You're already speeding. You don't have anything on you. I'm separating you from the firearm. All right. Are you going to get out of the car or not?
Tell me why.
I already told you why. Pennsylvania versus Mims. Are you getting out or not? Supreme Court case law. Are you getting out or not?
I don't know what it is.
All right. You need to get out of the car.
You're not telling me
If you do not get out of the car, you'll be arrested for obstruction.
You're going to arrest me for obstruction?
Yes, if you do not get out of the car.
I don't know why. I don't feel safe.
All right. If you do not get out of the car, you'll be arrested for obstruction.
I don't feel safe.
If you do not get out of the car, you'll be arrested for obstruction.
You're not telling me a valid reason why.
That's a perfectly valid reason. Like, Google it if you want to.
There's an actual.
Let me call my lawyer, man.
You have that?
If you're wondering, there's a gun on the dashboard. If you're wondering why he needed him to get out of the car, there's an actual weapon on the dashboard, right there on the dash. Which I don't know why. I mean, they are being very kind to this guy, because I've seen people get tased, pepper sprayed, and drug out of the car for far less than what he's doing with an actual weapon sitting on the dashboard. And he's only like 22 years old. And I'm pretty sure he probably doesn't have a concealed carry, but maybe he does. I don't know. But my point is, there's a weapon on the dashboard. So for him to be like, I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe. Like, dude, you need to be glad. And the officer still hasn't pulled out his weapon. So he hasn't He hasn't escalated this at all. Shout out to these police officers for sure.
That right, but you're not even under arrest right now. You're still just detained.
Stay in my car.
No, you don't. Get out of the car.
Hey, Quinn. So I'm pulled over right now, and they telling me I got to get out the car for what reason?
Because we're gonna have a conversation back at the back of the
They
car.
want to have a conversation.
You need to get out of the car. Doesn't matter why.
Doing it. I'm not getting out the car because you want to have a. No, I'm not getting out the car.
Okay.
All right. So
All right. At this time, you are under arrest. You are not free to leave. You are under arrest.
I'm not under arrest.
You are under arrest. I'm informing you that you are under arrest.
I'm under arrest for what? Yes. Hold on, my lawyer calling. Hey, so a police officer is right here telling me this. I have to step out my car, and I'm telling him I don't want to step out my car. He's telling me to step out the car to have a conversation.
I've already told you you're under arrest. You're under arrest at this point.
And he's trying to.
Yo, a shout out to now. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. People can say whatever they want to say about police. This right here is a perfect example of them being extremely, extremely patient with a very belligerent young man who I've seen police do far worse with far less behavior than what we're watching right now. Because y'all know your boy watch a lot of body cam. So all that stuff that people say about, oh, they're trying to kill young black men, blah, blah, blah. No, miss me with that. This dude is still breathing, talking trash on the phone. And the officer still is not even, it doesn't even sound like he's even elevating this and escalating this as if it were serious.
Tell me since I didn't want to step out the car, I'm under arrest. I'm under arrest.
But you are under arrest at this point. All right. So you need to get out of your car right now.
All right.
All right.
So this make y'all feel tough.
So whenever somebody says, and shout out to Joe, you're right. We do have permitless carry now. Maybe that's why they were a little bit more hesitant. Yeah, but I mean, the gun is literally sitting on the dash. Now, whether or not he has a permit, whether or not he has a concealed carry, we can have that conversation on the other side. The fact is that there is a weapon in plain sight within his reach. And the officer, I felt like, was extremely calm and cool and collected when they said, you got to get out of the car because we got to separate you from the weapon. That's all it is. Because they can't allow you to hand them the weapon unless it's holstered on you. So because of that, they couldn't have him do that. So therefore, I think this is probably the best way to handle it. So again, when people just try to make it sound like police out here just, ixnaying black men on a regular, please stop with that. Please stop. Because I've seen them, I done seen them pistol whip. I done seen them pistol whip everybody. Everybody catch hands.
All it does is give me some paperwork.
All right.
All you have to do is get out the car.
File your paperwork. You want me to get out my car to talk to me about what? There's nothing to talk about.
This is not your car. You're absolutely flying down the road at 70 miles an hour in a 45.
Never had a police tell me to step out the car to ask simple questions.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a firearm within like 2 feet of both of our faces. Yeah, I'm gonna have you step out of the car.
It's in front of you. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Sure. Yeah. Not just that, you have an open THC container in the center console.
Okay.
Oh. All right. Who do you want to pick up the car and the gun? I gotta be here in 30 minutes or less.
What happened at home with y'all? What y'all so upset about?
All right. Who are we calling?
Okay. We are over at.
He is straight up wearing a Pikachu onesie. And he busy talking about these guys got some problems at home and this makes them feel tough. Sir, you are wearing a child's outfit in public. And you're not going to like Comic-Con or a movie. I just want to make sure you know that. So you want to sweat these officers and say that they got some problems at home. Sir, you are wearing a Pikachu onesie. I guess they like Dragon Ball Z. They caught them all.
Jimmy Carter.
Just tell them American Deli.
Do you know about how long it'll take to get over here?
American Deli.
There's a lot of them.
American Deli.
70-50.
American Deli.
70-50.
All right. Now hang my phone up and lock my phone.
All right.
Hang my phone up
How
and
long
lock
will it
my
be
shit.
for you to get here?
Hang it up and lock it.
Shut that door.
Hang it up and lock
See you
it.
there.
Hang it up and lock it.
Just shut the door. Close the door.
All right, so let go.
Yes, sir. Hey, always.
All right. So most of you all know I've been making a big push about the fact that we need black fathers in the home. We need black men in the home with their black children to help raise, to direct, to guide, to instruct, to mentor, to discipline their children. I'm sorry, right here, T.I. drops the ball. So we need good black fathers. T.I. is a piss poor dad right here. My name is Jason, and I'm going to say it out loud. He is a piss poor, sorry backside man. That's it. I'm going to say that. I live right here in Atlanta. He is a piss poor example of black fathers. That's exactly what I'm going to say.
How's it going?
Yeah, my son detained.
Yes, sir. He's currently under arrest for obstruction,
Okay.
as well as a variety of other traffic charges.
Right.
Yeah, he was caught doing 70 in a 45. He was instructed to step out of the vehicle because there was a firearm on the dashboard, and we wanted to separate him from that, and he refused.
Did he express his fear for safety?
Did he express his fear for safety? Sir, did you not just hear that your son was doing 25 miles over the speed limit? Did you not hear that part? Did you not? I'm gonna back that up because y'all didn't hear T.I. sound like a complete and total idiot. Instead of saying, yeah, my son was fearful, my son was endangering other people on the highway. He doesn't care about that. Your son had a weapon on the dashboard, sir. He don't care about that. Did my son express his fear for his safety? Sir, what about the safety of the people around you? What about the safety of the officers with a loaded weapon on the dashboard? You're a piss poor dude, man. You're a sorry black man.
Yeah, he was caught doing 70 in a 45. He was instructed to step out of the vehicle because there was a firearm on the dashboard, and we wanted to separate him from that, and he refused.
Did he express his fear for safety?
We got to be safe too. He's right there with a gun, right?
Understood.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
And being the fact that King has had multiple interactions, negative interactions with police in many counties, Fulton, Cobb, I think definitely South Fulton, Cobb, as well as Gwinnett. Sir, you need to be happy you're coming to talk to officers and you're able to take a Cybertruck home with you and not a Ziploc bag with the remains of your child in it. Because this dude is a terror here in Atlanta. That is some sorry black manness. So I know I'm strong about we need fathers in the home. We need fathers to be there with their kids. Dads need to be there raising kids. T.I., you a piss poor example, dude. And I meant that.
So there's absolutely no way to resolve this.
No, he was told multiple times.
He going to jail. You know why? You know why? There's absolutely no way. No, you're not going to sweet talk your way out of it. You're not going to be like, I'm king of the South. No, none of that stuff. Because you know why? Do you know why, my friend? Hold on. Y'all know I can't find it, right? Where's my song at? Where's the song at? Oh, there it is. You know why, T.I.?
Girl, you're going to jail. Said you're going to jail tonight. That lady's going to jail. You're going to jail tonight. That lady's going to jail. Said you're going to jail tonight. That lady's going to jail. Said you're going to jail tonight.
Yeah, he going to jail, T.I. That's why. So don't worry about trying to sweet talk. You ain't the king of the South up in here. Sir, your son is going to jail.
He got out of the vehicle. He was even told that, according to Supreme Court case law, he is required to exit a vehicle when he is requested to do so by a law enforcement officer. Pennsylvania versus Memph. He stated that, he doesn't have to, he doesn't want to. He was informed that he was under arrest at the time. He was still continuing to refuse to exit the vehicle. It wasn't until his lawyer called him back and said, you need to get out of the car right now. He got out of the car and was placed under arrest.
Making excuses for your child. Now, y'all know I love Pink Book lessons over here on these YouTube streets. And Pink Book did a wonderful job ripping this apart. So we're going to bring Pink up in the building. Shout out to Pink Book Lessons. All the links to everything is down in the description. We're going to bring Pink up in here, and she just had her way with them. And actually, she has a longer body cam. I just got the shorter one to get to the meat of the matter because I want to give her a little bit of time to shine. So shout out to the best live chat. Thank you to everybody. Yeah, I don't remember exactly where he lived here, where their family lives, but I know that people, They are definitely not. The HOA, shall we say, does have some complaints. Let's just say it like that. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for that, Chad. The Chad USA. I like it. All right, let's bring Pink up in here. Shout out to Pink Book Lessons. If the mods could drop her. I already dropped the link in the chat. What am I saying? I already did it. All right, let's bring this out of here. Bring this in here. We're good. And I think they trolled that boy and made him wear that outfit in jail. Let's go.
Harris, the son of T.I. and Tiny Harris, is a free man for now after bonding out of the Gwinnett County Jail following his arrest Sunday on speeding and drug charges.
Good day's Caitlin Pratt is live outside the facility and joins us now with the latest on this. Caitlin.
Good morning to you both. And more so than the charges in this particular case, it was what the 21-year-old was wearing at the time of his arrest that is gaining a whole lot of attention, something that the accused even addressed. Gotta catch 'em all. But this time, it was police catching the Pikachu. Rapper King Harris, the son of T.I. and Tiny Harris, arrested early Sunday morning in Gwinnett County following a traffic stop. Gwinnett County jail records showing the 21-year-old is charged with speeding, obstruction of a police officer, and drug possession. Harris's choice of clothing, a Pikachu onesie, drawing significant attention. He documented the traffic stop on Instagram with the selfie. According to TMZ, officers say Harris was driving 60 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone. And when they pulled him over, they say they spotted a firearm. Harris reportedly refused to get out of the car. Police say they then found a THC vape pen on him. On Instagram, Harris posted video in the outfit comparing police to Team Rocket, writing in part that he was living a good Pikachu life in Tokyo and then came back to ATL, and Team Rocket caught me with a master ball and threw me in jail all night.
Said it before, I'll say it again. King Harris is definitely the worst child of the Harris family. That's T.I. and Tiny's son. He's the problem child. The least talented, the most annoying, always looking for attention, the biggest brat, and the biggest cornball. All the other kids know how to be themselves and do their thing, stay out of trouble. But it's always this one right here, the biggest Malibu kid doing the best impression of a wannabe boys in the suburbs, because I can't call him boys in the hood. He's not from nobody's hood. He was raised between his mama and daddy's mansion in the middle of the country and his Meemaw's house in the middle of the country, way outside of the mean streets of Atlanta. But he's done a good job hopping on social media, trying to play the quote unquote real ninja so bad. Just as stupid as he want to be. You got access to all this money and the only thing you can think to do is play a pretend thug? Like, get out of here. And then this time he got arrested again, playing around in the wrong county, out there in Gwinnett County, Georgia, where those people will literally take you to jail for littering. They're not playing, but he's up there being sassy with the police, acting like the strong, independent baby mama that he is, laying up all day, relying on his daddy's child support assistance every month to feed himself, his baby mama, and their baby. This big old fool up here getting sassy with the police, and they threw him in jail for possession and some other charges. But outside of that, the most embarrassing part is his mugshot. He went in there looking like Bad Baby Junior. I'm talking about Catch Me Outside. How about
they played him, man? They did that on purpose. They did that to that man. They made him put that hood on because the hood wasn't on his head. So they put the hood up onto his head in order to take the picture. They did that, man. They did that man like that. Amazing. Let's go.
that?
Catch me outside. How about that?
Looking like a whole little white girl with a mustache. And to top it off, he had on a Pokemon onesie. This little guy running around trying to demand respect as a man and showed up to the jailhouse in a Pikachu onesie. Looking like a whole little punk. I'm sorry, it's nothing cute about this. This is nothing to be celebrated. This little Malibu most wanted queen is doing everything he can to get attention. Well, here it is, King Bad Baby Jr. Here's the attention you so desperately wanted.
This is not the first time Harris has faced legal trouble in Georgia. Back in 2024, he was accused of nearly hitting a police officer at a Dunwoody gas station, was taken into custody after an officer smelled marijuana in the car. He was also previously transferred to Pickens County on a bench warrant for failing to appear related to a 2022 traffic stop involving speeding and DUI charges that were later dropped. And jail records show that the rapper has been released from lockup here. As for a court date on these charges, unclear at this time when that will happen. We'll keep you up to date. That's the latest here live outside the Gwinnett County Jail this morning. I'm Caitlin Pratt for Good Day Atlanta.
All right, Caitlin, thanks for the latest.
And if this situation couldn't get any goofier, look what popped up right in the middle of the video. Came right across my desk. Got this alert hot off the press.
He's slowed down, but his slowing down is to 60.
Or maybe this is the same one I have.
61 on a 45, and I am not gaining him. He's also all over the road. Jesus. Hi, good evening. My name is Officer Lopez with the Gwinnett County Police Department. The reason I'm pulling you over is you're doing over 70 miles an hour in a 45. You didn't know? I got you. You got your driver's license on you? All right. Are you the registered owner of the vehicle? Okay. Do you have a photo or anything like that of your driver's license? Yeah. All right, I got you.
Hey, shout out. I just found out here in Georgia, we actually have digital driver's licenses. We actually have digital driver's licenses. I don't know why you would do that, but we do have digital licenses. So it's not just a picture, it's an actual app that you can access that has your driver's license in it. Interesting. I just had to get mine renewed, so that's how I found out about it.
All right. So do you mind stepping out and we're going to talk right here real quick back here?
About what?
You need to step out of the vehicle.
Step out for what?
So there's a firearm in this vehicle. You're already speeding. You don't have anything on you. I'm separating you from the firearm. All right. Are you going to get out of the car or not?
I don't tell me why.
I already told you why. Pennsylvania versus Mims. Are you getting out or not? Supreme Court case law. Are you getting out or not?
I don't know what it is.
All right.
I don't know what it is.
You need to get out of the car.
You're not telling me
If you do not get out of the car, you'll be arrested for obstruction.
You're going to arrest me for obstruction?
Yes, if you do not get out of the car.
I don't know why. I don't feel safe.
All right. If you do not get out of the car, you'll be arrested for obstruction.
I don't feel safe.
If you do not get out of the car, you'll be arrested for
You're not
obstruction.
telling me a valid reason why.
That's a perfectly valid reason. Like, Google it if you want to. It's not going to end well for you.
Let me call my lawyer, man.
You have that right, but you're not even under arrest right now. You're still just detained.
Stay in my car.
No, you don't. Get out of the car.
Hey, Quinn. So I'm pulled over right now, and they telling me I got to get out the car for it.
Get out the car.
What reason?
Because we're going to have a conversation back at the back of the
They're
car.
going to have a conversation.
You need to get out of the car. Doesn't matter why.
I'm not getting out the car because you want to have a... No, I'm not getting out the car.
Okay.
All right. So,
All right. So at this time, you are under arrest. You are not free to leave. You are under
Call
arrest.
your supervisor.
You are under arrest.
The officer told him he's under arrest, and his response is, no, he's not under arrest, as if he has the authority to say if he's going to be arrested or not.
I'm informing you that you are under arrest.
I'm under arrest for what?
He just told you.
Hold on,
You're
my
not
lawyer
listening.
calling.
You hard-headed.
Hey, so a police officer is right here telling me I have to step out my car, and I'm telling him I don't want to step out my car. He's telling me to step out the car to have a
I've already told you you're under arrest. You're under arrest at this point.
And he's trying to tell me since I didn't want to step out the car, I'm under arrest. I'm under arrest.
But you are under arrest at this point. All right? So you need to get out of your car right now.
All right. So this make y'all feel tough.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, this is give me some paperwork.
How does it make him feel tough? Sir, you're wearing a Pikachu, a child's outfit, and you got the nerve to be challenging whether or not the police officers feel quote unquote tough. So you got to feel embarrassed about that.
All right,
All you have to do is get out the car.
file your paperwork. You want me to get out my car to talk to me about what? There's nothing to talk about.
This is not your car. You're absolutely flying down the road at 70 miles an hour in a 45. This
Never had a police tell me to step out the car to ask simple questions.
Well, there's a firearm within like 2 feet of both of our faces. Yeah, I'm gonna have
It's
you
in
step out
front
of the car.
of you. It's in front of you. What are you talking about? Well,
Not just that, you have an open THC container in the center console.
Okay.
Oh. All right. Who do you want to pick up the car and the gun? I gotta be here in 30 minutes or less.
What happened at home with y'all? What y'all so upset about?
All right.
What happened to your home? What happened to your home, sir?
We are over at 7050 Jimmy Carter
Tell
Boulevard.
them American Deli.
Do you know about how long it'll
American
take you to
Deli.
get over here?
American Deli.
There's a lot of us.
American Deli.
7050.
American Deli.
And look at him.
American Deli.
Just being more belligerent. Like, shut your little behind up. This is what happens when you have spoiled, entitled kids that turn into so-called adults. Pull up any Karen or DeQuisha video and you'll see this same behavior. But right now he's giving Karen. I'm telling you, him being perceived as a little white boy is what saved him during this traffic stop. because any dark black boy that was refusing to create separation between themselves and a gun sitting right there on the dashboard during a traffic stop in a country town somewhere in Georgia, he would have sneezed wrong. They would have turned that car into Swiss cheese. The thing is usually...
I disagree. I don't think Gwinnett is not like that. And we're not some little country town. I'm sorry. Now, is he a punk? Is he a scrub? All those things are true. But these officers were top tier professional. And again, I've watched enough body cam. I've seen some less than professional police officers. These guys were top tier professional and handled this very well, in my opinion. I don't think thankfully, this young man's life was never in danger because these are men who are in their proper position. They know their role. They're not threatened by him whatsoever. They're not challenged by him, and they knew what they're supposed to be doing, and they did their job effectively. I don't think he was even, there was never even a question, in my opinion.
Women and people like Malibu King here, they don't see them as the same threat or at the same level of Montavious in them. And I'm telling you, that's how he survived this situation. But for my people watching, you better tell your sons don't pull the same mess, especially if they don't got no my blood. Better cut it out before you end up on a t-shirt.
7050.
All right, now hang my phone up and lock my phone.
All right.
Hang my phone up and lock my... Hang it up and lock... Hang it up and lock...
Shut the door on him.
Hang it up and lock...
His voice is just something that needs to be excised.
All right, now let go.
And look at him. He's thinking he's in control of the situation, like he's talking to his mama and daddy or somebody. Officer's not even being rude to him. And then, of course, his daddy shows up to the scene.
Yes, sir. Hey, Albert, how's it going?
Yeah, my son detained.
Yes, sir. He's currently under arrest for obstruction.
Okay.
As well as a variety of other traffic charges. Right. Yeah, he was caught doing 70 in a 45. He was instructed to step out of the vehicle because there was a firearm on the dashboard, and we wanted to separate him from that, and he refused.
And you do, and the thing again, he just told you that he was a threat to people on the road doing 70 in a 45, 25 miles over the speed limit. So he was a danger to people around him. He also has a weapon on the dashboard. So he's a threat to the officers and anybody around the vehicle. And T.I. is going to say something about he feared for his safety.
Did he express his fear for safety?
We got to be safe too. He's right there with John. Right.
Understood.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So there's absolutely no way to resolve this.
No way.
No, he was told multiple times
he got to go
that
to
he was out
jail.
of the vehicle. He was even told that, according to Supreme Court case law, he is required to exit a vehicle when he is requested to do so by a law enforcement officer. Pennsylvania versus Memphis. He stated that, he doesn't have to, he doesn't want to. He was informed that he was under arrest at the time. He was still continuing to refuse to exit the vehicle. And it wasn't until his lawyer called him back and said, "You need to get out of the car right now." He got out of the car and was placed under arrest.
So T.I. walked up there thinking he was going to get his son out of handcuffs. Sir, he's in Gwinnett County, not Fulton County. You might as well drive that Tesla Cybertruck off so they don't impound it and head down to that jail in Lawrenceville, pay them fees and get him out. First thing T.I. said was something about, did King express his fear of not being safe? That's not going to justify a weapon being on the dashboard during a traffic stop. The purpose of him getting out the car was to separate him from the gun and the threat posed to the officers so this thing didn't go left. You better be glad the attorney told his little stupid self to get out the car and he actually listened, because if he didn't, we'll be telling a different story right now. Listen, King Bad Baby Jr. Harris is obviously a problem, and he's going to continue to be a problem for this family. He's got spirits around him that he conjured up himself, and when you call for certain spirits, they'll start calling for you. He need to get his life together. That same disrespect he showed to the people at the Waffle House years ago, the everyday people making an honest living, the same disrespect he showed his parents. I'm talking about the same disrespect you constantly see coming from Pinkett Harris here. It's going to catch up with him, and it's only two places he's going to end up. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Tell me what you think about this mess below. I want to thank everybody who supported this channel. You can show your support as well. The link to PayPal is below.
Pink Book Lessons. I thought that was fantastic. I thought that was fantastic. Now, in the chat, real quick, how do y'all want to watch another person take on this? Because there's one more brother who took a stab at this that I thought was absolutely fantastic. I thought he did a great job of mocking this situation, because I think it needs to be mocked. I think this situation needs to be mocked and he needs to be made fun of. All of the things, because my goodness, in the morning, how nose blind do you have to be in order? Well, first of all, let's not even do the black and white thing. Let's not even do that thing, okay? Because I don't believe a lot of that is contrived. But again, like authority versus the citizenry. When somebody who is in authority who can arrest you and ruin your night, because they didn't have to call his dad. They could have just arrested him, put his car in car jail, and ruined his night. Had him in there, again, on drug charges, weapon charges, as well as not following instructions. They could have really just slow poked him out and has had him in there. And in the little yellow jumpsuit, put him in general population. I'm pretty sure that would have went over perfectly. But no, like when you the fact that you can be given an order by somebody in authority, whether you like it or not, you still have to respect and honor what the police tell you to do. And this dude's still wilding out. Look, I thought it was great. Shout out to Pink Book Lessons, great content creator. Link is down in the description. Definitely check her out. See what she's doing. She does excellent work. Excellent work. Okay, a friend of our channel, John Amachuku, he also jumped in on this. He actually, he did get there fast. I didn't think about that. He did get there pretty fast. Now, you know what? We could have looked and seen the time because there was a timestamp on there. We could have went back and looked. I'm not that committed to it, but he did get there pretty quickly because he did say 30 minutes. He need to be there in 30 minutes. Let me go back to John. So John Amachuku jumped in on this. I thought he had fun. So I'm gonna let John jump on him and give him a little bit of work as well. Shout out to John Amachuku. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
But you are under arrest at this point. All right. So you need to get out of your car right now.
All right.
The ones that
All right.
work.
This my lawyer calling me. Pikachu says, this my lawyer calling me. The officer telling me that he want me to get out of the car. He want me to do this and he want me to do that. But I don't want to do it. Pikachu don't want to cooperate with the cop. All right, now on Disturbing the Peace, my friends, you are going to get a kick out of this. I've never seen anything like this before. I hope that 50 Cent, the rapper, 50 Cent, doesn't see this himself, but I think that he possibly will.
Yeah, and 50 Cent and T.I. and King Harris, and I think T.I.'s other son, have been going back and forth. This is all 50 Cent needed. I'm just telling you that right now. 50 Cent didn't need many things to motivate him and to make fun of this boy. Let me show that picture again. He didn't need much motivation. 50 Cent gonna be on his bumper before the end of the week, the weekend for sure. Hold on one second. I think I lost my audio. Hold on one second. I'll pull that back in. All right. Real quick, green hearts if y'all can still hear. Oh, sorry about that. Let me fix that. Let me back it up a little bit so y'all can get the full orb of this foolishness. All right. Shout out to John. I don't know why I did that. It told me that it lost audio. All right, let me try it again. All right, bring it back in. All right, green hearts in chat when you can hear.
For throwing jabs, sparring online. And, now T.I.'s son was recently pulled over and the guy was wearing a Pikachu outfit, arrested on drug charges. But this whole man, this isn't a boy. This isn't a 2-year-old, my friends. He's not 5. The man is of age. He's a young adult. You know what? Scratch that. He's an adult.
He's an adult.
Go back to the image. You got to keep saying it. This man is an adult. And you driving around at night high in a onesie?
In a onesie.
How
do you make it make
what
sense?
was he doing? Now we know that he had just got in from Hong Kong shooting a video, but a onesie? A Pikachu onesie? Now, as a good father growing up, I do believe that, you know, my kids at a certain age would probably entertain the idea of daddy putting on a onesie. I never did it. But in my imagination, I would like to think if my daughter Pamela could sweet talk me enough, I would put on a, I don't know, Superman, Incredible Hulk onesie, do something like that for my boys. But I would not leave the house in it.
No, sir.
You wouldn't catch me taking any pictures or putting out videos of me in a Superman outfit, let alone in a Pikachu outfit.
You just can't make this up. You can't make it up.
But this guy got pulled over in a onesie, a thug, a gangster, a rapper. Man, take a look at this.
Hi, good evening. My name is Officer Lopez with the Gwinnett County Police Department. Reason I'm pulling you over is you're doing over 70 miles an hour in a 45. You didn't know? I got you. Get your driver's license on you? All right. Are you the registered owner of the vehicle? Okay. Do you have a photo or anything like that of your driver's license? All right, got you. All right. So, do you mind stepping out and we're going to talk right here real quick back here?
About what?
You need to step out of the vehicle.
Step out for what?
So there's a firearm in this vehicle. You're already speeding. You don't have anything on you. I'm separating you from the firearm. All right. Are you going to get out of the car or not?
I don't tell me why.
I already told you why. Pennsylvania versus Mims. Are you getting out or not?
I just told you.
Supreme Court case law. Are you getting out or not?
I don't know what that is.
All right. You need to get out of the car.
You're not telling me
If you
why.
do not get out of the car, you'll be arrested for obstruction.
Told you.
You're going to arrest me for obstruction?
Yes, if you do not get out of the car.
I don't know why. I don't feel safe.
All right. If you do not get out of the car, you'll be arrested for obstruction.
feel safe.
If you do not get out of the car, you'll be arrested for
You're not
obstruction.
telling me a valid reason why.
That's a perfectly valid reason. Like, Google it if you want to. It's not going to end well for you.
Let me call my lawyer, man.
You have that right, but you're not even under arrest right now. You're still just detained.
Stay in my car.
No, you don't. Get out of the car.
Hey, Quinn. So I'm pulled over right now, and they telling me I got to get out the car for what reason?
All right,
So
hold
we're
on.
gonna have a conversation back at the.
So this is T.I.'s son, King, in the Pikachu outfit. I mean, the thug doesn't want to get out of the car. And now he picks up his phone and he's calling his lawyer. Hey, Kent, they telling me I got to get out of the car. I don't want to get out of the car. Man, it's called Pennsylvania versus Mims. Let me read this.
Everybody knows Pennsylvania versus Mims.
It's a United States Supreme Court criminal law decision holding that a police officer ordering a person out of a car during a lawful traffic stop did not violate the Fourth Amendment to the United States Constitution. The subsequent observation of a bulge in a person's jacket was thought to present a danger to the officer. So the officer exercised reasonable caution in conducting the pat down, which was also deemed permissible. That was the actual case. But in this case, Mr. Pikachu has a gun on the dash.
Got a pew-pew.
That's visible.
Right there.
Okay. The officer doesn't feel comfortable trusting Pikachu. I wouldn't, listen, a grown man with a Pikachu outfit on, I wouldn't trust him either. This ain't got nothing to do with the color of his skin, that he's black or caramel, you know, something like that. No, it doesn't have anything to do with that.
Not a thing.
This has everything to do with the fact that this man is wearing a onesie, a yellow Pikachu onesie outfit, and there's a gun in the car. The officer is liable to think that this man might be out of his mind. I mean, y'all need to give the officer a break here. The guy's doing his job. Watch.
Back of the
They
car.
want to have a conversation.
You need to get out of the car. Doesn't matter why.
Doing it. I'm not getting out the car because you want to have a.
But you are, though.
No, I'm not getting out.
Are getting out.
All right. So
All right. But this time you are under
I can tell you emphatically, saying that you're not getting out of the car guarantees that you're going to eat that crow tonight. I've yet to hear somebody say, I'm not getting out this car or I'm not getting arrested and it actually goes that way. I've yet to see it, and I've watched a lot of body cam. It never goes that way. When they say you get out the car, you're going to get out the car. If they say you're arrested, you are arrested. It's a wrap.
You are not free to leave. You are under arrest.
I'm not under arrest.
You are under arrest.
Yes, you are.
I'm informing you that you are under arrest.
I'm under arrest for
And-
what?
Yes, you are under arrest.
Hold on, my lawyer calling.
Oh, who cares?
Hey, so a police officer is right here telling me I have to step out my car. And I'm telling him I don't want to step out my car. He's telling me to step out the car to have a
I've already told you you're under arrest. You're under arrest at this point.
And he's trying to tell me since I didn't want to step out the car, I'm under arrest. I'm under arrest.
He's telling the story exactly like it is.
But you are under arrest at this point. All right. So you need to get out of your car right now.
All right, Oda Ray. Hey, this my lawyer calling me. Pikachu says, this my lawyer calling me. Hello. Yeah, the officer telling me that he want me to get out of the car. He want me to do this and he want me to do that. But I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Pikachu don't want to cooperate with the cop. And then the lawyer says, yeah, get out of the car. Get out. And now he commences to get out of the car. See, this went too far because of arrogance.
Yeah.
How naive can this young man be to think that he can just sit there and go toe to toe with a cop who's simply just ordering him out of the car? I mean, the cop more than likely would think that this guy is probably mentally ill. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know that's T.I.'s son. And him getting you out of the car is him getting you away from that weapon. He doesn't see you as truly as a gangster because you're wearing a onesie, man.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to take this
I can't get over this. Y'all got to help me. Maybe you could understand this better. But yeah, he wants you out of the car away from the gun, but he's also thinking that you're mentally ill and unstable. A thug, I don't know. You talk like one, but he can't take that thug act seriously. Watch.
So did it make y'all feel tough?
Not the slightest. All it does is give me some paperwork.
Right.
All you have to do is get off the car.
You're wearing a onesie.
You want me to get out my car to talk to me about what? There's nothing to talk about.
This is not your car. You're absolutely flying down the road at 70 miles an hour and at 45.
Never had a police tell me to step out the car to ask simple questions.
So this is interesting, and I heard this earlier, and I didn't mention it. He said, "This is not your car, and you're flying down the road." So I'm wondering, whose car is it? Is it T.I.'s? Is it the management company? Is it a rental? Whose car is it? Because they said it's not your car. I can't wait to see the full body cam. I can't wait.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a firearm within like 2 feet of both of our faces. Yeah, I'm gonna have you step out of the car.
It's in front of you. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Well, not just that, you have an open THC container in the center console.
Okay.
Oh. All right. Who do you want to pick up the car and the gun? I gotta be here in 30 minutes or less.
What happened at home with y'all? What y'all so upset about?
All right. Who are we calling?
Okay. We are over at 7050 Jimmy Carter.
It's tell them American Deli.
Do you know about how long
American
it'll take
Deli.
to get over here?
American Deli.
There's a lot of us.
American Deli.
7050.
American Deli.
Okay,
70,
American
50.
Deli. We got
All
it.
right. Now hang my phone up and lock my phone.
All right.
Hang my
All right.
phone up
How
and
long
lock
will it
my
be
shit.
for you to get here?
Hang it up and
Shut
lock
the
it.
door on his face.
Hang it up and lock it. Hang it up and lock it. All right, now let go.
Yes, sir. Hey, Albert, how's it going? Yes, sir. He's currently under arrest for obstruction.
Okay.
As well as a variety of
All right,
other
hold
traffic charges.
Hang up my phone. Hang it up and lock it. Lock my phone. Hang it up and lock it. Lock my phone. Close my SHIT. Hang up my phone. Lock my phone. All right, let's go. I mean, What are we doing, y'all?
What are we doing? What are we
God
doing?
help
Pastor
our
John?
black
I don't know.
men. Help us, Lord. And now T.I., his dad, has to get out of the bed. He sounds kind of groggy. I know he's upset. I'm sure when he walked up and saw that yellow costume, that yellow onesie on his son, I'm sure he wanted to take his belt off. Say, officer, handcuff him. Handcuff him. Handcuff his arms. Handcuff his legs. And let me get a piece of him right now, because this is embarrassing, man. I would be fighting mad if John Patrick or John Jr. did this to me. God, spare them from the wrath that is to come. I get if you got pulled over or something like that, yeah, I'll come down there and I'll support you. And if I hear that you're resisting arrest and or you're not getting out of the car, I'm gonna be mad about that. But I'm really gonna be set off if I look over there and you sitting over there like a big baby, a big baby in a onesie. After all those years of your mama and me changing your dirty diapers and bathing you and feeding you and wiping snot from your nose, cleaning your little bum, I would be enraged. Who is going to marry this boy? To the woman who lays down with him, has sex, starts a family. This is what you're getting. This man's grown daddy. His daddy gets out of the bed to go rescue his son in a yellow onesie. Man, this is messed up. Watch.
Yeah, he was caught doing 70 in a 45. He was instructed to step out of the vehicle because there was a firearm on the dashboard, and we wanted to separate him from that, and he refused.
Did he express his fear for safety?
We got to be safe too. He's right there.
Well, they're
now,
safe.
right?
Yeah, I don't know.
So there's absolutely no way to resolve this.
No, he was told multiple times that he needed to get out of the vehicle. He was even told that, according to Supreme Court case law, he is required to exit a vehicle when he is requested to do so by a law enforcement officer.
He got to go to jail, brother.
You know, he doesn't have to. He doesn't want to. He was informed that he was under arrest at the time. He's still continuing to refuse to exit the vehicle. It wasn't until his lawyer called him back and said, "You need to get out of the car right now." He got out of the car and was placed under arrest.
That's crazy work.
So T.I. goes down there, and T.I. is trying to be level-headed, you know? He's doing his best to just...
Hey, I like Pastor John. I like him. You know, I was on his show recently. Great brother. I really do support Pastor John. I disagree, though. I don't think T.I. was coming in there level-headed. I think T.I. was coming in there trying to make excuses for his sorry, ne'er-do-well, do-nothing, Malibu's most wanted son. That's it. I'm sorry. I don't think he was trying to be, you know, now he was being respectful. He wasn't coming here frothing at the mouth, cussing and stuff like that. But I don't believe T.I. was trying to be reasonable. I think he had to be reasonable because it was 1 o'clock in the morning. Somebody asked how quickly did he get there. I rolled the tape back. It took T.I. 15 minutes to get there. When they pulled him out of the car, it was 1:14 in the morning. When T.I. showed up, it was 1:29. So I don't know where T.I. was, but he got there fairly quickly. That's what I can say. Okay, let's bring Pastor John back up in here. Shout out to Pastor John, disturbing the peace. Let's go.
You know, reason with the cops. He has better sense than his onesie wearing son. Okay, Mr. Pikachu. And this is bad. I mean, speeding, doing 70 in a 45,
right?
A gun, open THC container, and it's not his car. Gets on the phone and calls his lawyer because he doesn't want to.
And let us also just add, more than likely, he was probably under the influence. You got an open THC vape pen. You more than likely was vaping. You more than likely was taking in the devil's lettuce, right? So therefore, he probably was under the influence. Just saying, and you're doing 70 miles per hour in a Cybertruck. with a gun on your dashboard. Come on, man. Like, what are we doing here?
To abide by the law. This is senseless. You see, 1 Corinthians 13, verse 11 says
Come
this. When I was a child, I spake as a child.
I dressed like
I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. I guess Paul should have added there. When I was a child, I dressed like a child. He says, spake, understood, and thought. Maybe we should add, I guess, for people like this young man, dress like a child,
just like a baby.
This is bad. It's pathetic that T.I. has to get out of his bed and go address this problem. Shows that his son has some major challenges.
Shout out to Pastor John. I thought that was right on the button. I agree with him 100% that this is a bad look. This looks horrible for him. But I think it's if you live here in Atlanta, we know about this young man. So that my point is, this is not the first time. It's not a one-off. It's not anything of that nature. I mean, I've heard at least 3 different instances of him having run-ins with police. We ain't even talking about his family. We're not even talking about workers at Waffle House and stuff of that nature. So therefore, yeah, he's a problem. And I mean, he's going to be a problem until he's not a problem anymore. So that is what it is. Y'all, shout out to the best live chat on the internet. Thank y'all so much, everybody. It's a Thankful Thursday. We just want to have a little bit of fun. We're just having a little bit of fun. Now, I do have I think it's going to be a polarizing conversation. I think. So shout out to y'all right there. 101 entitlement and wokeness. Stop making excuses for your crazy kids. Preach. My son has the same entitlement. I hope one day he wakes up. Shout out to you, mixtape Christy. Shout out to you. I agree. And sadly, this situation here is one of those situations where raise a child in the way that he should go. When he's old, he will not depart from it. That's also a cautionary tale, right? It's an instruction like, hey, I want to raise my child in the way that he or she should go, right? But if I raise them in an improper way, the same thing applies as well. So it's a curse and a blessing. It's an admonishment and a warning at the same time. And I believe T.I. and his family did not raise that boy correctly. I'm sorry. I don't know what should have been done because I don't know what they did. But whatever they did should not have. That wasn't it. That's going to be where I stand with that. Because I mean, he's a blight on Atlanta, and again, he's going to do something. He's going to do something that's going to be irrevocable. That T.I. and his family and all the king of the South is not going to be able to remove it and get him out of the trouble that he creates, because he just stays in his position because he refuses to submit to wisdom and understanding. And I don't think he really has wise people around him, in my opinion. That's just it. I don't think he has wise people around him that care enough for him to tell him the truth, and that for him to actually submit to their wisdom and guidance and their mentorship. I don't know if it's his dad. I don't know if it is, but it's fair to say whoever he's around is the wrong people. That's what I can say. I feel comfortable in saying that. And I'm looking forward to seeing what 50 Cent got to say about it, because I'm sure 50 Cent is going to give him that work. I can't wait. It's going to be hilarious. But shout out to the best live chat on the internet. Okay. All right. We're going to clean the palate. Let's clean the palate, y'all. I want to know. Tell me what you think of when I say that, when I put this name on the screen. I'm going to put this name on the screen, and I just want you to type in the chat. What do you think of when you see this person's name? Oh, well, that's my name. Sorry. Jada. You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Jada Pinkett Smith. What do y'all think of when you hear the name Jada? What do you think of? Put in the chat very quickly. I want to know, what do you think of when you hear this name? I'm going to put what I think right here. But what do you think of when you hear her? Ooh, snake. Gotcha. Oh, you think about Will Smith. Okay. Okay. You don't know who Jada Pinkett Smith is? Oh, we're about to have a good conversation then. All right, evil, gaslighting queen. I like it. I like it. Come on, now you know who Jada Pinkett Smith is. She's Will Smith's wife. Okay, I saw this. I saw him talk about it. I'll go check it out for sure. This weekend is going to be busy, busy, busy. So we got a lot going on. So for sure, thank you so much. So she's a narcissist. That sick emoji, absolutely. Okay, so shout out to Sandra Faye. We've looked at her work before. Sandra Faye did a review. Jada Pinkett Smith did a book recently, and now she, you know, when people do a book, they go out and they do a speaking tour. Well, she's out here doing a speaking tour, and boy, what she said about Will Smith, man, I kind of want to feel sorry for Will Smith, but I can't. I'm like, dude, I don't even understand what y'all are doing. I don't even know if I can feel sorry for you anymore. I don't even know if I can feel sorry for him anymore. This thing right here is crazy what she said about Will Smith. Now, you remember, this is Will Smith's wife. She was in love with Tupac. 20 plus years after his death, she's in love with Tupac. She had a relationship with her son's friend. She had a intimate relationship, trying to make sure I stay within the YouTube guidelines, with her son's her son's friend. So he's like 20 plus years younger than her. They was doing the horizontal mambo, the beast with two backs. She berates Will Smith. She drags him out there and so on and so forth, all that kind of stuff like that. Well, most people had kind of forgotten about Will Smith and all the craziness and wildness that goes on in their family. So what does Jada do? She goes on a speaking tour. She brings it all up. And listen to what she does with this whole story about, yeah, he put the ring on it. So, I mean, he married her. So, I mean, but listen to what she does about this whole story, about her and the entanglement with the young man and so on and so forth. It's some grayscale diabolical. I even got a poll for y'all. Hold on, I even got a poll question for y'all. So my poll question is as follows: do you think that Jada Pinkett Smith is helping Will Smith? And yes, she's in her man's corner. No, she's really against him. Or 3, she's on her healing journey, Jay Witt. Listen to what she talks about today. I'm gonna pull this back. I'll pull that back at the end. All right, let's get ready to go. This is absolutely insane.
Jada Pinkett.
You know, everything came out and I was like, oh, I got to take myself to the table. Like now, mind you, Will and I were not together. We hadn't been together. 2016. And I decided I'm going to take myself to the table. Will says, I want to come to the table with you. And I was really surprised, and I was like, wow. He's like, I don't want you to be at the table by yourself. I want to support you. And so I was like, oh, okay. So he comes to the table, and, you know, I try to just, you know, and this is a really complex moment. We come to the table.
Let me give you a framework real quick, just to help y'all out. She is about to go to, she used to have a podcast called Red Table Talk, and she would sit at this red highboy table with guests and talk. Okay. And so she was going to talk at the table about the fact that she had an affair. She had an extramarital affair with this young man. And this is where the infamous Will Smith is sitting there at the table, and they're both sitting there, and Will looks like he's getting drugged through through Hades and back over broken glass, and she's talking about some entanglement. Remember that? That's where this. So she's building up to that. Now, mind you, nobody's asking about Jada Pinkett Smith. Nobody's asking about this. This is crazy work.
People, and Will's not ready. He's not ready, and he's kind of backtracking, and he's going through this motion, and I'm like. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to speak my truth, but I'm also gonna protect you. So if I gotta look like the adulterous wife to make sure you're good, I'm gonna do it.
Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. You can support Uncensored Conversations via Cash App or buying your girl a coffee. I just want to give a quick shout out to my first Faye ambassador. Shout out to Nefertiti. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. If you guys want to sign up for memberships or sign up to be an ambassador as well to receive a shout out, the link will be in the description down below. Hey y'all, you guys saw the introduction. She's back at it. She is back at embarrassing her husband. If you guys didn't know, Jada Pinkett Smith seemingly hates Will Smith, and she is going out of her way to destroy this man at every single turn. Every single turn. It's embarrassing. Looking at that clip, you see how excited she is, right? You see how excited she is to throw Will under the bus? See, I painted myself as the adulterous wife so I could protect him. I needed to protect him, making herself out to be the hero as if she protected him. This is a classic case of flipping the script. Okay, she is trying to flip the script so that we're looking at her as, oh, she was protecting him, and maybe she wasn't as adulterous as they said she was. No matter how you slice it, no matter how you flip it, reverse it, there's no way you can justify laying up with your son's friend. It's weird. Okay, it's absolutely weird. Ain't no way in hell when I get up in my grown age, am I gonna be looking at my son's friend? That's effing weird. I'm gonna see him as a child because that's what he is to me. He's a child. You're friends with my son. You're a child, just like my son is always gonna be a child to me. That doesn't mean I'm gonna treat him like a child. You know, you gotta loosen the reins as they get older and let them be adults. But the relationship aspect, you will always be my child. And anyone in your age range is also going to be seen as a child to me when it comes to that dynamic. And I'm not crossing that dynamic. It's weird. So for her to even think to and then go do it with her son's friend, it's not even like you got some random ninja. Your son's friend. What a slap in the face to your son. Not just your husband. What a slap in the face to your son. Because now you got to look at his friend and say, dang, he smashed my mama. So when he makes that joke and they're playing, what is it, Call of Duty? And he said, yeah, that's why I'm going to smash. He actually means it. He actually means it. Crazy work. It's that little smile that she has on her face that is really irritating me. It's really irritating me. Like, you're just so happy. You feel so enlightened. And then say, oh, well, he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. Ugh. All of this is just so off-putting. And you hear the nasty broads in the background. Woo, yeah. This is just a gathering of 8-ish broads in their 40s and 50s. And I'm not saying that Will is this perfect man. No. But Jada is clearly a demon. And I feel bad for any man that is laid up, tied up with a broad like this, especially Will. Especially Will. He has such a good legacy, from The Fresh Prince to I Am Legend, all of the wonderful movies that he's done. He really did build a very strong brand for himself to go down in the history as one of the greatest action stars, Black action stars. He really did build a legacy for himself. He was loved by pretty much everybody. And all it took was his broad to start tanking his brand and ruining his career. Because let's not forget, he slapped old dude over his broad. Like, what are we talking about here? The camera cuts away. We all speculate that she said something to him, and then he went up and slapped old dude in the face. Granted, I love that meme. It's a hilarious meme. I love to use that meme, but I hate what it did to his career. I truly do. But let's get back to the foolishness.
So, and that wasn't the case. But I wanted him to be okay. Now, also in that moment, two things. As I'm moving forward, I'm also moving backwards.
What does that mean?
Because what I realized at that moment, I got in my martyrdom bag. And what that is for me is, I hadn't quite learned how to love myself and not leave Will on the side of the road. And I hadn't learned how to love Will and not leave myself on the side of the road.
What does that mean?
In that moment, because I felt so bad that he was in this situation, I decided I'm gonna love you, Will, and I'm gonna leave myself at the side of the road. And I wouldn't have known that was an aspect that I needed to heal if it hadn't been for my kids, my mother, my friends were so hurt that I had done that to myself.
What does that
Yeah,
mean?
because I believe.
And they actually asked you afterwards. Now, mind you, smart businesswoman. They own their content. She could have killed it.
Yeah.
She could have said, "Oh, heck no, this didn't work as planned."
Yeah.
But you did it anyway.
Yeah, my manager, Miguel.
Isn't it wild that she is? I mean, this is, and we've talked about this before. I think that therapeutic talk, can we leave that? Can we go back in time and like maybe drop that off in 2023? That therapeutic gobbledygook. What did she say? Leaving myself on the side of the road. What are you talking about? Ma'am, you had an extramarital affair. You slept. You had sex with a young man that's your friend, your son's friend. How did Will Smith become the villain here? I don't understand. Now, I'm not saying Will is perfect, but my goodness, in the morning, how are you turning this on Will? Well, he wasn't ready, so I had to do something to not leave him on the side of the road with the roadkill. What are you talking about? Ma'am, you was bumping uglies with a child. How have you turned yourself into the victim here? That's some grade A foolishness right there. That's some grade A, capital A foolishness. Capital F foolishness, sorry. This is crazy. She is trying to make cheating great again. I hate to say it, but I'm right there with you. Like, what are you doing? She is so irritating with her full intelligence and so-called emotional awareness. This is some Kamala salad. We need some, it's gibberish talk. I have no idea what we're doing. I have no idea what's going on here. Anyway, let's finish this up. I just thought this was super interesting. Let's go.
Ellen Rakuten, who's the producer, they begged me. My PR, my Karen Censor, they all begged me. They were like, please don't do this. Please don't do this. And two things, I was like, goodbye. I needed people to know. First, I wasn't going to be emotionally blackmailed.
By who? What are you talking about?
I was like, no, hold up.
No.
I'm going to put myself out there. You ain't got the period. And on top of it, I want Will out. I don't want him part of this. Okay, I'm the bad guy. I'm the worst. Great. Let's be done with it.
Right.
I wanted it done. You got your answer. I'm the adulterous wife. Let's be done.
Do y'all really think this heifer wants to be done? If you really want it to be done, why are you up here talking about it? Why are you up here milking it? And this is how you know when somebody's not really sorry for what they did. This is how you know when somebody's not really grown from the experience. It's because they'll still look back on it and try to paint themselves out to be a victim, or they'll try to paint themselves out to be a hero. And in this instance, she's trying to do both. She wants to be the victim and the hero at the same damn time. When you do something that is clearly wrong, that is clearly out of pocket, and you try your damnedest to convince everybody that you're the victim in that situation, all while saying that you've healed and you've done the work and also the nonsense, it goes to show that it's all for show. You don't mean any of these apologies that you've given. You don't mean any of that ish. This is straight up narc behavior. I'm sorry. It just is. I genuinely can't stand people that talk like this, where they try to act like they're so elevated in the way that they speak. Like, yes, I've done it's like this pseudo therapy preacher type of speak. I know you guys hear it. There's no way I'm the only person that's hearing it in her voice. I hate when broads speak this way. I hate when males speak this way, because I think you're scamming. I truly do think you're scamming when you talk like this. Because it's like, what are you trying to do with these words? What are you doing? Are you giving it to me real and raw? Or are you trying to finesse me into thinking some That's truly what I believe. I feel like this broad is trying to finesse us into thinking some She wants to rally the bitter broad brigade to now pile on Will and make it seem like he did a disservice to her for letting her die on the sword. And look, she was protecting Will. She was protecting Will by putting their business out there. She was protecting Will. Bitch, if you were really trying to protect him, then you would have just canceled the show. But no, you are a clout demon. You wanted the publicity. It's not about putting it to rest, because if you wanted to put it to rest, first of all, you wouldn't have put it in your book. And second of all, you wouldn't be out here broadcasting it, talking about it, sitting here next to this other broad, I don't know who the hell she is, and talking about it. If you truly wanted to lay it to rest, but she doesn't. She's a clout demon, period.
But I had to learn. That was a big learning moment for me. I wouldn't have been able to see that aspect of myself that needed to learn that I could love myself and love others, that we could all be on the road together. Which why this book was so important too, because I'm not leaving nobody on the side of the road, you know, including myself for once, right?
Oh my God, I'm so selfless. Look at how much I put everybody above myself whilst I had an affair.
She needed to leave that young man on the side of the road. That's who you should have left on the side of the road. You should have left the young man that you had an affair with on the side of the road, because he was not your husband. And you did not need to be doing anything with him. He was a child and he wasn't your husband. There you go. That's what should have happened. Sadly, it didn't happen. And now we're talking about this dumb stuff.
With my son's friend. Like, this is just a bunch of gobbledygook. She's really pulling the wool over these dumbass broads in the audience's eyes. Are you serious? I just for one time, I didn't leave myself on the side of the road. Bitch, you didn't leave yourself on the side of the road when you was skin August Alcine. When you was getting down with your son's friend, I want to reiterate, you weren't leaving yourself on the side of the road, bitch. You were the road. And he was driving up and down that hoe. I'm not giving you a pass. I am not giving you a pass for this nonsense.
And that's a big part of my healing. Big part of my healing.
I'm healing. Narc individuals love to bring up how they're healing. They love to center themselves and say that they're healing. Whenever they do something terrible to somebody else, oh, I'm healing. They love to say that. And it is just so disingenuous and disgusting. It makes my skin crawl, because how dare you? Let's go ahead and look at some of these comments and those dumb ass hoes in the crowd talking about, LMAO, that bitch ain't say I agree. All she said was some gobbledygook. All she was doing was greasing her own wheel. That's it. Never seen a woman go on tour because she cheated on her husband. I think I've seen that before. Will Smith must have offended the gods in his previous life to have been met with such a person in this lifetime. Yeah, what the hell did Will do in his previous life to be branded with this broad? I never thought I'd listen to someone for 5 minutes and still don't get what they talking about, but the crowd seems to be following and engaged because they're all delusional. If I gotta look like the adulterous wife to make sure you're good, I'm gonna do it. The adulterous wife. Exactly. What do you mean? If I gotta look like I'm the adulterous, you were. Were you married? Yes. Are you still married? Yes. Were you out here screwing? Yes. Your son's friend? Yes. What do you mean? I gotta look like you are? And let's not even go into the whole Tupac of it all. The crazy stuff she said about being basically still in love with Tupac while she's married to a whole nother man. Bruh. They're petty for this. May this type of love never find me. Shit, may it never find any of us. Oh my God, thank you so much. Mind you, the Red Table was her show, which means she didn't need to air it. So while she's trying to act like some type of heroine, she ain't need to air out. She did it to herself because she was producer and editor. She's a whole dummy broad. I agree 1000%, good sis, but you are the adulterous wife. You see how folks like to rewrite history? But y'all, I am curious to hear you guys' thoughts down below. How do you feel about this whole situation? Do you agree with me where it's like, damn, Will, what did you do to deserve all of this nonsense? And also, bitch, you are not a victim and you are not a heroine or hero or whatever the case may be. You are the adulterous wife who slept with her son's friend. Okay, her son's friend. You slept with your son's friend, and we will never forget. We will never allow you to forget that. And we will not allow you to paint this picture as if you were protecting Will Smith. by putting all y'all's business out there on the street? Or do you disagree with me where it's like, no, Sandra, she's telling her truth. And she said she wasn't the adulterous wife, so that means it must be true. She was protecting Will by sleeping with August Alsina. She was protecting Will by telling the whole world that she had an entanglement. She was protecting Will. She's still protecting Will to this day. I am curious to hear you guys' thoughts down below. If you like the video, The more you interact with it, the more it gets pushed down to the algorithm. Also, hype the video if that function is available. If you're feeling a little extra generous, the link is in the description to buy your girl a coffee. Thank you guys so much, and I will see y'all with the next one. Deuces.
All right. Shout out to Sandra. I left the link down in the description. You can definitely check her out. Go ahead and vote. What do you think? Do you feel like, I ask, do you think that Jada Pinkett Smith is helping Will Smith? Because I'm looking back at Will and Jada's IMDb, and it seems like, I mean, Will used to put out some bangers, man. Will used to have some great movies. Can anybody tell me a movie that Jada was in? I mean, I think he's had some pretty good movies. I'm gonna say I'm looking for the last one that I actually watched was probably Bad Boys for Life. So that was in 2020 with Martin Lawrence. I thought Bad Boys was a good movie, but I mean he's had some good movies. He had a lot of duds though too, and I'm wondering why. Does Jada have something to do with that? How he ended up like just stumbling in his movie career? Because he used to put out some great movies. He got 17 up and coming projects. My gosh. Dang, he got a lot of projects coming up and it's supposed to be this year. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. Shout out to Will Smith. Shout out to Sandra. Y'all make sure y'all go support Sandra down there. Her link is down in the description. All right. I wanted to get those out of the way. I thought they were fun. Just a great way to look at our Thankful Thursday. Lady Dear Woke Christian is going to go pick up Chief Executive Second Born. So I am going to do the Georgia governor's gubernatorial debate. I'm gonna pull it in. I realize it's kind of long, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work for sure. That link to this is also down in the description. Go ahead and vote. What do you think? Do you think, one, if you think Jada is there to help Will, two, you think she's against them, or three, you think she's on her healing journey? Y'all go ahead. I didn't realize when you put the answer in, it actually shows up here. Let me put 3 in there, see what happens. Okay, clearly it doesn't agree with me. Or maybe because I already voted once. I've never seen that though. Okay. That's what's up. I like that. I'm gonna use that more often. Oh, that's my daughter texting me about this. She is having a great time. This child. All right. So let's get at it. Let's bring in the Georgia gubernatorial debate from last night. Oh, wait. Resume. I need to hide it. There we go. Sorry about that. Debate from last night. Let's see what y'all got to say about it. Let's go.
Tonight, the future of Georgia is front and center. It is the race for governor. I'm Cheryl Preheim here with Ron Jones as we get ready to hear about issues that matter most to you. Affordability, top of the list. Immigration, health care, public safety, among other things. 3 Democratic candidates will be joining us tonight to talk about those issues and make their case why they think they should be in the governor's office.
Absolutely. And Cheryl, I had an opportunity to head out there in Metro Atlanta on the streets, talk with some of those potential voters. And I asked them, hey, listen, if you are in that debate room, if you can ask those candidates questions, what would be top of mind for you? So there's a couple of them. I'll call them the big C's: crime and cost of living.
Yeah.
We're going to hear from them in a couple of minutes. But Cheryl, when I look at this debate that's coming up here in the next less than a half hour, I see it like a playoff game, you know, like a sporting event.
Probably.
They have to make their way through the playoffs to become that front runner to actually for the representing the Democratic side before they take on the Republicans.
All right, let's talk about who's going to be in studio with us tonight. We'll have 3 Democratic candidates for governor as selected through criteria through a nonpartisan Emerson poll, the top 3 polling candidates joining us tonight. And the top of that list is former Atlanta mayor and former senior advisor in the Biden administration, Keisha Lance Bottoms, perhaps the person with the most name recognition in this race for governor. We're also going to have former Georgia Labor Commissioner and DeKalb County CEO Michael Thurmond will be here as well, and former Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan, who served as a Republican under Brian Kemp in the first term as the 3rd now Democratic candidate for governor.
And we're going to have a couple of strategists, one representing the Republican side, the other one on the Democratic side, and Spyro Amber, he's a Republican strategist, and also Fred Hicks, he's the Democratic strategist. And so I've got a lot of questions for them, and I'm sure you do too, especially since we know that Jeff Duncan has transitioned from Republican over to Democrat.
You don't see that often. You don't see people leaving from the Republican Party to become a Democrat. That's interesting. Okay, shout out to him. Okay, what I want to do is at least give you a chance to see who is going to be on the stage. So let's go ahead and jump to the actual debate and get going. Let's go.
From across the state, this is Debate Night in Atlanta. It's the race for governor, the Democratic debate.
And good evening from Atlanta. This is the Democratic debate and the race for Georgia governor. Thank you so much for joining us from our Midtown Atlanta studio. I'm Faith Jesse.
And I'm Zach Merchant. We are your moderators for tonight's debate that includes 3 candidates from the Democratic field. We're broadcasting live, on air, and online here and on our partner stations all across Georgia. Whether you're joining us from Atlanta, Augusta, Columbus, Macon, or Savannah, we're glad you're here. Before we begin, let's review the rules of the debate.
Each candidate will have 60 seconds to answer each question that is directed to them. If a follow-up or rebuttal is needed, the candidate will get 30 seconds to respond. Another 15 seconds if moderators determine that clarification is needed. When their time is up, you will hear the sound of a bell.
Let's now welcome in our candidates who each met the agreed upon participation criteria for fundraising and nonpartisan polling. Thank you all for being here tonight. Let's get started. And we begin with the issue of immigration. It has been at the center of politics here in Georgia and all across the country. House Bill 1105 was signed into law in 2024. Broadly speaking, it pushes local law enforcement agencies here in Georgia to collaborate with federal immigration enforcement efforts. Mr. Thurmond, by virtue of a card draw, we begin with you. The question here is this, and you have 60 seconds.
Oh, sorry about that.
Do you support local law enforcement agencies in Georgia collaborating with federal immigration enforcement efforts?
ICE must be reformed, and if not reformed, then abolished. I will support the laws of this state. We should have strong borders. Immigrants, illegal immigrants who are convicted of serious crimes must be deported. But hard-working immigrants, legal or otherwise, who are contributing to our economy, who are honest, working hard, trying to access the American dream, we must help them get access to the path to citizenship. Deport the criminals, but reach out to those who've been here for long periods of time, who are contributing to our society, who are working hard, playing by the rules, pursuing the American dream. These individuals must be provided with a path to citizenship. They have to get in the back of the line, but get in the line, and all people, regardless of their immigration status, must be treated with respect and humanity. The U.S. Constitution protects all individuals, citizens and non-citizens, as human beings, and we must respect those rights.
Mr. Thurmond.
Okay, that did sound decent. The problem is it was some doublespeak because he said illegals must be removed, but then he said those who are in here legally or otherwise. What's the other way that you could be here otherwise? That you would be subject if you're here legally, you're here legally. Like what am I missing here? What am I missing here?
One 30-second follow-up to you before we move on to Mr. Duncan. On the topic specifically of whether you would support or oppose participation and collaboration between local law enforcement here in Georgia and federal immigration enforcement authorities, do you support or oppose that?
I will support it when it comports with the position I took earlier. I will not support the type of gangland type activities that we saw in Minnesota, where innocent people were murdered, where people are being disrespected, regardless of their immigration status. I will always stand for what is right, but I will always speak out against what is wrong.
Thank you, Mr. Thurman. Mr. Duncan, the same question to you. You have 60 seconds.
Make no mistake about it, Donald Trump's policies around immigration have nothing to do with policies. They have to do all with fear and intimidation. We've watched this play out all across the country. We've seen it play out in the streets of Minneapolis. We've seen people literally lose their lives because Kristi Noem wanted a 5-second soundbite on Twitter. Look, it's inappropriate for us to use state resources to reinforce these fake ICE raids that are all about fear and intimidation. I think one of the most disgusting sights I've seen in this whole play out in Georgia was state resources being utilized to reinforce ICE efforts around the Hyundai raid. Here, a company produced $5+ billion worth of investments in our state, and they had 450 individuals that, quite honestly, after further look, a cell phone and a clipboard would have cleared up the clerical errors. And instead, those folks spent a long weekend in jail shackled. As governor, I will not use state resources to reinforce these ICE raids that are being administered by the Trump administration for nothing but fear and intimidation. And as far as working with the federal agencies, yeah, absolutely. When it's appropriate, I think the system works well, but it's not working well now because it's being led by a dictator named Donald Trump.
So this is something I noticed about this gentleman in particular. He's going to keep bringing Trump's name into it because he doesn't actually have a position that he's going to stand on. So he's got to insert Trump in here as seasoning, because he doesn't have an actual position that he stands on. So let's see how it goes.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan. Ms. Bottoms, the same question to you, 60 seconds.
When I was mayor of Atlanta, I closed our city jail to ICE because I could not be assured that we would be complicit in the family separation policy. That was a multi-year, multi-million-dollar contract. On a daily basis, federal, local, and state governments coordinate, as well as law enforcement agencies. But when we are dealing with Donald Trump's ICE in 2026, we certainly have to take a second look at what that collaboration looks like. I am concerned that when we collaborate with ICE, with local law enforcement, that we aren't focusing on removing hardened criminals, violent criminals from the street, but we are focused on people who are going about their everyday lives, hoping to achieve the American dream. We have to be careful because often immigrant communities are often afraid to even call law enforcement in their time of need. So as long as it's responsible and lawful collaboration, not targeting those who are most vulnerable, I will support it.
Ms. Bottom.
So, and that sounds real picturesque. The problem is, you said in the beginning, you refused to work with ICE at the jail level. That's why they were in the community level and they're messing things up. I do admit there's some issues that happen where those persons who shouldn't be arrested get detained and so on and so forth. You know why that happens though? Because y'all won't catch them and deal with them at the jail level. If you dealt with them at the jail level, ICE would not be out in the community doing that. That's the problem.
One 30-second follow-up to you before we move on. You talk about responsible and lawful collaboration.
What does that
Can you
mean?
specify what that would look like in your view?
Unfortunately, what we've seen, and we don't have to look any further than Minnesota, we have seen ICE go rogue. We've seen ICE come into communities not being thoughtful about how they are detaining people, not being thoughtful about how federal agents, including the calling up of the National Guard into our cities, how it is done that comports with the collaboration that's needed to not only protect our citizens, but also to protect law enforcement. When law enforcement is not coordinating responsibly and lawfully.
That didn't even make sense. And that's why you ran out of time. But let's also keep in mind, Minnesota is, again, they're not working with ICE. If they would just deal with them at the jail level, when they catch somebody and they arrest them for whatever reason, and they call ICE and say, hey, ICE, we caught Jim Bob over here, we caught Sally Jane over here, there's some nasty people and ICE comes and gets them and deports them, you don't have to worry about that. The problem is y'all don't work with them. That's the problem. But y'all did work with them when it was Obama.
It puts everyone at risk.
Thank you for your answer, Ms. Bottoms. Our next topic is on affordability, which is one of the main themes of this 2026 campaign across America. Mr. Duncan, you will have the first response to this question. And I ask you, families across Georgia, they are paying more for just about everything right now: gas, food, travel, the overall cost of living. What is one policy that you would implement at the state level to bring down costs? And what would it cost the state to do that? You have 60 seconds to respond.
I guarantee you he's going to bring in Trump. I guarantee you he's going to somehow or another, he's going to mention Trump. Let's go.
Yeah, this affordability crisis is hitting everybody, whether you own a big business or you're living check to check. The affordability crisis is real and tangible in every household. And it comes in different shapes and sizes. One of the big ideas I've come up with is I want to utilize part of the $17 billion rainy day fund that we have in this state. I want to take 10% of that and put it in a jumpstart fund. $1.7 billion worth of discretionary budget for the governor to be able to put that and wrap it around the axle of poverty. One of the reasons why I'm standing here as a proud Democrat is because I got tired of watching Republicans demonize poverty. There's things that you can do as governor. You can better fund the CAPS program that lowers childcare costs and allows a single parent to go back to work. You can reinforce affordable housing projects like Mayor Dickens and Mayor Van Johnson in Savannah's projects and lower the price of housing. You can expand Medicaid. There's lots of opportunities, but we need to start investing in individuals, not just giving handouts, but investing. And I think this is an opportunity for us to make an investment in Georgians.
Thank you, Mr.
I'm
Duncan.
wrong. I was wrong. He didn't say Trump, y'all. Oh man, I apologize. Those are not the responsibilities of government. The problem is that we have lost. You're right. This is big government. That's absolutely it. The reason he left from being the Republican Party to the Democrats is he just wants to spend money. He wants big government. And I'm not saying that the Republicans don't have big government. Don't hear what I didn't say. He just wants bigger government. That's just it. Okay, let's go.
Suspending the gas tax is one way that we can address the issue as it relates to gas costs in this state. Also, joining other states who've already sued the Trump administration on tariffs that are unfairly impacting small businesses in the state. Also, the Port of Savannah is being directly impacted because of the erratic tariffs that Trump has instituted. Also, making sure that we are expanding Medicaid in this state. Over 1.5 million Georgians saw their health care premiums go up because of the refusal of the Trump administration to extend the ACA subsidies and creating a statewide affordable housing trust fund in the same way that I did it as mayor of Atlanta. When we closed the multi-billion-dollar transaction that's now known as Centennial Yards, we created an affordable housing trust fund. We can do that across the state to help offset housing costs.
Thank you, Ms. Bottoms. Mr. Thurman.
I will focus on something that I've already done, legislation that I passed as a member of the Georgia House of Representatives. Over the time that this legislation has been in force, we have generated over $300 million in tax relief for senior citizens and working families. As you file your taxes today, if you look at the Georgia tax bill, you will find if you're a senior citizen, if you're a low-income working family, you're going to get a tax break, and it's a tax break that I put in law and a bill that I authored. I would also expand, Mr. Duncan mentioned CAPS program. I started the CAPS program, and when I was the DFACS director, the first money spent in child care for low-income working families was the CAPS program. I would expand the income cap so that more families, I'll invest $25 million my first year in office so we can have an additional 20,000 scholarships for hard, young working families. And third, what I'll continue to do is work every day to help working Georgians.
One follow-up for you, Mr. Thurman. When would Georgians see the difference? We can focus on the CAPS program. How long would it take for people to start seeing that?
One budget cycle. The first year of my administration, I'm very familiar with CAPS. We created the CAPS program when I was the director of the Department of Family and Children Services. It's one of the most effective ways to help young working families. The average choice of cost of child care is between $800 and $1,000 a month. When we provide you with a scholarship, that's like $1,000 a month salary increase for every working heads of household in Georgia. We did it before. I did it as DFACS director. I'll make it more generous as your next governor.
Or, so again, so your solution for the affordability crisis is for government to spend more money. That's everybody's solution, was to spend more money, whether it be suing Trump, slush fund administration, giving away houses, child care, so on and so forth. It is to spend more money. That is the solution of these people. That's their answer to bring costs down, is to spend more money.
Thank you all for those answers. We're going to stay on the topic of the economy, and we're going to turn to a question coming from our sister station, 13 WMAZ in Macon. We're going to play that question in just a moment. Ms. Bottoms, that first answer is going to go to you. This is 13 WMAZ news anchor Frank Malloy.
Right here in central Georgia, Robins Air Force Base is a critical economic engine. It provides good paying jobs, opportunities for folks across the region. As governor, what would you do to help make sure that Robins and other critical industries have enough skilled workers to support the jobs that are available?
Ms. Bottoms, that's
a fantastic question.
Goes to you first, 60 seconds.
Yes, I had an opportunity to work in Macon at another station in Macon. So thank you for that question. What we need to focus on is creating workforce training development. I did it as mayor of Atlanta, and I know it can be done statewide. We created the Center for Workforce Innovation at Atlanta Area Tech, where we train people for six-figure jobs as plumbers, as airline mechanics, as coders. The list goes on. This can and should be done statewide, especially in conjunction with areas that are heavily populated by our veteran population. We have over 15 companies in the state, Fortune 500 companies. This is something that is of interest to the entire state, because what we know is that when we have a trained workforce, it betters our state. It is better for our economy. It's better for our communities. We've seen it work in Atlanta, and I know that it can be done statewide.
Thank you, Ms. Bottoms. Mr. Thurman, the same question to you.
Great question for the former labor commissioner here in the state of Georgia. As the labor commissioner, we helped over 300,000 Georgians get training and access to new jobs and new careers. As the former DFACS director, we helped over 90,000 Georgians move from welfare to work. Workforce training is the key. As the next governor, I will create a public school system that has multiple pathways to success. Liberal arts, go to UGA, Morehouse, Spelman, Georgia State, great choices. But we have to also invest in our outstanding technical college system. We have to help parents and students know that it's just as brilliant to go to Georgia Tech as it is to go to Atlanta Tech. We're going to make sure that we recognize white collar, blue collar, no collar. It's the green and the dollar, not the color of the collar, that will create great jobs and great careers, and we need to invest in that.
Mr. Duncan?
Okay, I mean, wait, he said we're going to start public schools. Like, what do you, wait. I don't fully, I'm not certain I fully understand that. But, I mean, we have some great tech schools here in the metro Atlanta area, and I'm still lost on why the solution to the problem is always that the government has to do something. Why not government get out of the way and allow and encourage, rather, even just encourage and edge on the relationships and collaboration between the colleges and the employers? Why has the government got to be the middleman?
Same question to you, 60 seconds.
Yeah, first, my prayers go out to all those in harm's way and our military that are in the Middle East and across the globe. There's no better neighbor to have than a.
I'm sorry, that was just this dude. I need him to run. I got to have this guy run, because he's just going to say the most ridiculous things possible. To be honest with you, I think Thurman is probably the most reasonable of them. I'll be honest with you, the black man. I actually think he's pretty reasonable. This guy right here, he's going to just say ridiculous stuff.
veteran or somebody that's a member of the military. And we're blessed to have so many folks in so many different parts of our state. We've got to do our job getting folks ready for a 21st century economy. That includes K through 12, making sure that kids have those opportunities to have skill training in their K through 12 education. We also have to make sure we have partnerships with our technical schools that are based in reality in that community. Public-private partnerships that are able to embrace apprenticeship programs, labor groups that have apprenticeship and training programs, making sure that those 21st century jobs are ready to qualify them to work with those military operations. You know, as Lieutenant Governor, one of the things I stood for was creating the technology capital of the East Coast. I wanted Georgia to be the technology capital of the East Coast. We're able to stand up an incredible group called Partnership for Inclusive Innovation, which drove internships with young Georgian students out into those rural parts of the state and worked on a number of those areas around those military bases, and look forward to continuing to scale those programs up.
Mr. Duncan.
I'm sorry. I think Brother Thurman had the most clear, even though he did say start a public school system, I don't think that's what he meant. But I had to say he probably had the better answer. Duncan is going to say the most ridiculous stuff. And I'm sorry, I feel like Keisha Lance Bottom is searching for an answer.
Thank you so much for your answer. Our next topic is surrounding rural Georgia and the topic of health care, specifically in rural Georgia. Mr. Thurman, you will have the first question or first response to the question here. This question, it comes from our partner station, WSAV News 3 in Savannah. Here's news anchor Tina Tyus-Shaw.
Since 2005, 9 rural hospitals in Georgia have closed and another 20 are at risk. That is according to the Center for Healthcare Quality and Payment Reform. As a governor, would you prioritize keeping all rural hospitals open, or would you accept some closures in order to reduce costs and invest in alternatives like telemedicine and regional care centers?
Mr. Thurman, the first response is to you.
Thank you so much. I was born and raised in rural Georgia on a dead-end dirt road. I know what it's like to grow up in rural Georgia and feel like the people in the big city have overlooked or had less concern for my family and the issues that we would face. I will expand Medicaid during the first year of my administration. We will expand it from the inside out, not the outside in. The governor controls 90% of the budget. And by the way, the Republicans over the last 10 years, those current and former Republicans prevented the expansion of Medicaid. We have left $20 billion on the table in Washington because we refused to expand Medicaid. I was in Charlton County standing by an abandoned hospital just a few weeks ago. It is disgraceful. And as your next governor, I promise you this, you will not have to not have access to health care simply because you're born in rural Georgia. Rural Georgia will have a seat at the table in the Thurman administration.
Thank you, Mr. Thurman. Mr. Duncan, the floor is yours.
So I've been working on this issue since 2015. I was the author of the Rural Hospital Tax Credit that now, looking back, has raised over $500 million for 54 rural hospitals and allowed them the creativeness to try to solve some of those problems. But make no mistake about it, Donald Trump and his MAGA followers and every Republican candidate that's in this governor's race is attacking our rural hospitals straight on and making it impossible for them to stay open in their communities or to deliver the services that their communities expect. Look, I've been behind enemy lines on this issue. I try to look at opportunities to improve our healthcare system in Georgia as a former Republican, and you can't do it without expanding Medicaid. As governor, I will lead the charge. I know the members in the General Assembly on both sides of the aisle that are supportive of this effort will pass the legislation, we'll fund it, and we'll draw down those federal dollars. But there's also opportunities to create investments in technology to drive access deeper into the rural communities so that we can start to tackle infant and maternal mortality rates at a substantial rate and to deliver services in those rural communities and allow them to economically develop.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan. Ms. Bottoms.
The state of healthcare in this state is shameful. We are the home to the CDC, yet we do have 9 rural hospitals that have already closed. We have 300,000 people who aren't insured in this state because of the refusal to expand Medicaid. We left $700 million on the table because of the refusal to expand Medicaid. Reopening hospitals in our rural communities has to be a priority. We also have to invest heavily in making sure that we have public health clinics, mobile health clinics, that we are giving incentives to health care providers to go to rural communities and
The
provide much
asylums.
needed health care. In some communities, you could be even an hour away. Some people ask, why does it matter to me if I don't have Medicaid or don't live in a rural community? Well, if you've ever passed through one, it should matter to you. It literally is a matter of life and death.
Thank you all. We are going to bring another question from one of our partner stations. Mr. Duncan, you're going to have the first response here. This question comes from our partner station, WJBF News Channel 6 in Augusta, from anchor Brad Means.
It's your partner station.
You know, sometimes from a legislative perspective, it feels like it's Atlanta and the rest of the state. If
It
you're
is.
elected, how can you make sure that you are not focused on Atlanta only and that the rest of the state gets your attention too?
Mr. Duncan, we begin with you. 60 seconds.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different caucuses that show up at the Georgia Capitol. It's not just Democrats versus Republicans, it's urban versus rural. And there's other dynamics that play out. And to do that, you have to be intentional about looking above party lines, above geography lines. You've got to build consensus. I've got a resume that shows that that's exactly what I've done as a state representative, as lieutenant governor. I've built those coalitions to get big, tough things across the finish line. We talk about hate crimes. Many Republicans did not want to pass a hate crimes piece of legislation in the aftermath of the civil unrest and the violent crime spree that was happening across our streets here in Atlanta and other spots, and the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. I wanted to pass the hate crimes legislation, and Republicans pushed back. I worked with Democrats to get that to the floor and to get unanimous support of that legislation. Same thing with education reform, healthcare reform, budget reform. There's opportunities for us to work together, but a governor has to show up and work for all 11 million Georgians, not just the ones that vote for him.
Ms. Bottoms?
Yeah, Atlanta may be the capital city, but it certainly is not the only city. It's not the only community. That's the reason I've been to Augusta and Richmond County multiple times to hear directly from people. And that is what I will do, God willing, when I am elected governor. I will be there listening to people as I have when I have heard them express concerns about affordability, concerns about access to healthcare, concerns about quality education in our communities. Nothing beats getting on the ground. I like to say fondly, the streets don't lie. And when you are talking to people directly, you know what matters to them in their communities. While our needs may be similar, they are often community specific. And I will continue to work on behalf of all of Georgia, spending my time outside of the metro area, listening to people across this state.
Ms. Bottoms, one follow-up for you. This will be 30 seconds. You talk about having the conversations across the state. What specifically would you do to turn those conversations into actual policy?
Well, it's actually helped shape our policy. When I launched our campaign for governor, I had a list of priorities, but as I have moved around the state listening to people, it's helped expand it, including creating a pathway for free technical and community college. I've talked about expanding Medicaid and the specific needs of communities in terms of access to healthcare in those specific communities. So my list of priorities has gone probably from around 4 or 5 to a list of at least 10, just based on what I've heard as I've moved around the state.
Thank you, Ms. Bottoms. Mr. Thurman, 60 seconds to you.
I'm asking voters to move beyond the promises and look at performance. As the labor commissioner, I had 60 offices all across the state of Georgia, and we worked hard. As a DFACS director, I had 159 offices in every county. That is how we helped so many Georgians get back to work. I appreciate the question from Augusta. I'm a proud graduate of Payne College who really gave me the opportunity to really become and pursue my dreams in public service. When the Hurricane Helene hit Augusta, Georgia, people can promise they'll be there for you. When the lights were out and the water was off and the food had disappeared, we formed a partnership with the Augusta Richmond County government. With Mayor Johnson, we created a Good Neighbor Express and delivered 10 tractor trailer loads of fresh fruit, Georgia grown vegetables. That's what caring about the rest of Georgia is about. It's not just the promise, but it's the performance. At the most toughest time in the history of Augusta, we were there.
All right, Mr. Thurman, thank you so much. Appreciate your answer to that question. Well,
I'm
now
not-
we would like to direct individual questions to each candidate.
I'm not really moved by their answers. I'll be honest with you. I really want to hear that government is we're trying to limit the scope of government, not increase the scope of government. And this is on both sides. So don't hear what I didn't say. So it's just sad to hear, like, man, we need to get out of the way. We need government out of the way and allow people and allow for regional areas to manage that in such of that nature. But okay, let's go.
Only this candidate will respond to that question. Former Mayor Bottoms, we want to start with you. You were Atlanta's mayor from 2018 to 2022. In that time, Atlanta saw major social justice issues, the COVID-19 pandemic, a spike in violent crime. You opted not to run for a second term, joining a very short list of one-term Atlanta mayors. Now, some of your critics have accused you of leaving the city behind during a pivotal time. Well, did you leave Atlanta behind? And what is your response to that criticism?
I was very proud of my time as mayor of Atlanta. In fact, when I left the mayor's office, my approval rating was at 68%, which is incredibly high. I left $180 million in the bank, 4 years of balanced budgets, no property tax increases. I created a child savings account for all public kindergartners across our state. I also created a citywide affordable housing program citywide. So I was very proud of my service. But at that time, I made the decision based on what was best for me personally and for my family. I had the opportunity after I completed my 4-year term as mayor, I had the opportunity to serve in the White House. In fact, I've been asked 3 times by President Biden to join the White House, and I didn't do it because I was committed to completing my term as mayor. I had an opportunity to go to the Biden White House and work and advocate on behalf of all Georgians.
One follow-up for you, Mayor Bottoms. Why not run for a second term? Did you have your eyes set on a Biden White House?
Absolutely not. If I'd had my eyes set on the Biden White House, I would have taken the opportunity to join his cabinet as I had been asked to do. I made a decision based on what was best for my family. My kids were very young at that time. And again, very proud of that decision, very proud of the term that I completed. I left the mayor's office with my head held very high, and I don't regret not serving a second term. Having the opportunity to later serve in the Biden White House and make sure that I could advocate on behalf of all Georgians was a privilege, and I'm very proud of that work.
Mr. Thurman, this next question is for you. You were first elected to the Georgia General Assembly in 1986. You've been in state politics for 40 years. What do you say to those who argue it is time for a new generation of Democratic politicians to take center stage?
I think it's time for new vision, new leadership, and new direction. I'm proud to be the one candidate in this race, Republican or Democrat, who has a track record of success. When people are hungry, when we were passing out boxes of food in DeKalb County, at Hosea Feed the Hungry, when SNAP benefits were taken away. Just 2 weeks ago, when the TSA workers had been without a paycheck for nearly 2 months, no one asked me what my age was or anything about how long I'd served. They were just saying, thank you for helping us at a time of need. I promise you this, Zach, when we expand Medicaid and all of a sudden people who hadn't had access to health care will now be able to go to a doctor, they won't care how long I've been in office. When we finally bring jobs to rural Georgia, when rural Georgia finally gets a seat at the table, when we finally fund education so that every child will have access to a quality education, no one will ask how long I've been there. They'll just say, thank you for the work that you've done. I have a track record. I'm proud of it. It's not about promises, it's performance.
Mr. Thurman, thank you.
Okay, I must say again, I think he has probably the most authentic taglines. Now, he does go and try to, attack other people and such of that nature, but I feel like he actually has something that he's proud of. 40 years is nothing to wink at. And he does look pretty good. I'll give him all credit for that, of course. Again, my only problem is nobody's looking at minimizing the size and scope of government to allow people to be able to take care of themselves.
So much for your answer. Mr. Duncan, this next question is for you. You spent the vast majority of your political career as a conservative Republican, but here you are tonight, rocking a blue tie as a Democrat. Under your watch as Lieutenant Governor, Georgia passed policies like the state's restrictive abortion ban and so-called constitutional carry laws, allowing broad access to firearms. Well, you have said again and again that you have changed your views, but that is quite the big change to make in just a few years. Why should a voter believe you?
Yeah, the question I get asked most often on the campaign trail is, what is that point in time or that issue that changed your mind to switch parties? And the reality is it opens up a great conversation for me to talk about the journey that I've been on, the journey that has better understood the importance of bipartisanship and consensus building, the importance to know that common sense gun legislation makes all the sense in the world with universal background checks and red flag laws and home safe storage laws. Expanding Medicaid is the only way to fix it. I've grown a lot of political courage, but I've also gotten some moral clarity on important issues like the heartbeat bill. I was wrong to think a room full of state legislators knew better than millions of women, and they don't. When I understood those deep, complicated medical scenarios and deep personal situations, I beyond a shadow of a doubt believe women deserve the right to choose between themselves, their faith, their family, and their doctors. And day one as governor, I'll sign that executive order that clarifies doctors can practice medicine without fear of prosecution. And I'll also introduce legislation to repeal the 6-week ban and meet millions of women where they want us to. Here's the thing. Republicans know they're wrong on a number of these issues: guns, Medicaid, and abortion. I believe I can work with building a coalition big enough across party lines to get those actions passed.
One follow-up for you, Mr. Duncan. What do you say to critics who say, well, he just switched over to the Democratic Party because he had a better chance of getting governor there?
Yeah, I can assure you no political consultant told me it would be easier to switch parties and run for governor. If I simply just wanted to wake up and be governor, I would have stayed in the Republican Party. I would have bit my tongue off every time Donald Trump said something stupid, which was every 5 minutes. And I would have been first in line to be governor. I didn't want to be a Republican. I was embarrassed to call myself a Republican. I was embarrassed to sit at my own kitchen table and look at my wife and kids as a Republican. I've decided to switch parties because I have a better toolkit to reach into to help people and help their needs. I'm a proud Democrat now. I look forward to being a governor to govern as a proud Democrat.
Thank you all for your answers. We turn now to this. Our next topic, it has to do with the issue of public safety. Mr. Thurman, you're going to get the first answer here. And this question comes from Chuck Williams at WRBL News 3 in Augusta on a topic that impacts communities there, here in Atlanta, and all across the state.
Columbus and the surrounding communities are fighting a gang problem, murders, drug and human trafficking, and the recruitment of younger members. What in your plan will help address that problem in Muskogee County and the rest of the state?
I like that question. Very good.
And our apologies, too. I should say he is from Columbus, not Augusta. I shouldn't have disrespected Chuck Williams like that. We know who he is and his reporting, and we appreciate it. Mr. Thurman, the first question goes to you. You have 60 seconds.
The legendary Chuck Williams. But let me go back to something Mr. Duncan said about constitutional carry. Many of the murders, much of the gang activity is being fueled by young men bent on death and destruction and the almost universal access to guns in our state. The Second Amendment protects the right of law-abiding citizens to protect themselves, to engage in recreation. But constitutional carry that law enforcement opposed throughout the state, Mr. Duncan, the Republicans voted for it anyway. It has brought about death and destruction in many of our neighborhoods. I accept the apology, but even with the apology, the reality exists that people are still dying at a horrendous rate. Gangs are marauding across our communities, and constitutional carry is helping to fuel that violence in many of our neighborhoods. We have to change this. We have to get back to law-abiding citizens doing the right for our state.
Mr. Duncan, we go to you. You can have a chance to respond to Mr. Thurman's comments if you'd like, and also respond to Chuck Williams' broader question about what you would do to curb violent crime.
Yeah, Michael's right. Constitutional carry is a disaster. It causes law enforcement officers to sit there for literally hours trying to determine if somebody's legally allowed to be concealing a weapon. And I believe a majority of Republicans know it's wrong. And I look forward to leading the charge in repealing that law and allowing police officers to get back to being able, if somebody wants to carry a concealed weapon, most folks that I know don't have a problem with going through the licensing process to have that concealed weapons license on them and to be able to show it. And with regards to Chuck's question, look, one of the hardest situations I had to deal with as lieutenant governor was this wave of civil unrest that took over our streets, not only in Atlanta, but across the state. And it came in a couple of different forms. One was civil unrest and violent crimes were spiking at post-pandemic, but there also was a lack of leadership. And there was some opportunities to make a difference that didn't happen. One of those was leading the charge with the city of Buckhead. And the city of Buckhead wanted to get created. Burt Jones led the charge, and I stood up to him and made sure that didn't pass and passed the Less Crimes Act.
I'm sorry. They ask you about gangs. There is a gang problem in Georgia. Gangs, not civil unrest, not protests, not BLM riots, not that dumb stuff. Nobody's talking about what this man said, which is gangs. And please understand, gang members don't worry about constitutional carry. So you're not making the point for, you're not arguing a point. You're arguing whatever you want to argue. This is not what they were asking.
Which allows each law enforcement agency to have $4 million show up for, hire more officers, pay them more, train them better, or equip them better. Look forward to working alongside our law enforcement to have safer communities.
Ms. Bottoms, the question goes to you. 60 seconds. What would you do to curb violent crime across the state?
Well, I'm very proud of what I've done in the area of public safety, including giving police officers and firefighters historic pay raises in the city of Atlanta. But it also means that when we have law enforcement on our streets, we want to make sure that we are creating relationships with community. That's why the first opportunity I had to visit the Oval Office as mayor of Atlanta, when we were talking about federal funding coming into our state regarding COVID, I asked for flexibility in funding so that we could invest in crime prevention. What that meant was that we were able to create a violence intervention program. We need to do that statewide. We were also able to create training programs, entrepreneurship programs for young people. That needs to be done statewide. We were able to do things like invest in more street lights in communities. Believe it or not, that actually helps reduce crime. That needs to be done statewide. It has to be a proactive investment, a proactive creation of relationship with community so that the first time community interacts with law enforcement is not in the midst of a crisis.
Thank you.
I agree with that. There are certain things I think that the governor should be looking at. Again, streetlights. I think that would be really good because Atlanta is very dark in a lot of instances. On the highway, on major streets, it's dark without streetlights on. I agree with that. Do that. That's something that could be done. But they're asking you about gangs. Like, I don't understand why we're skipping and ignoring the question that they're asking, which is about gangs.
Thank you for your answer, Ms. Bottoms. Our next topic is surrounding Georgia's heartbeat bill. That is now the law of the state. It bans most abortions after about 6 weeks of pregnancy. Our next question is, if elected, would you let the heartbeat bill stand or would you work to repeal it? Our first answer goes to Mr. Duncan.
Yeah, certainly. As I mentioned a minute ago, it's got to be repealed. I think millions of Georgia women want us to do that. I think a majority of Georgians want us to repeal the 6-week ban. And I think a majority of the legislature does too. Republicans don't have the votes to stop it. I think we need to figure out the best way to get it into committee, out of committee, onto the House and Senate floors and get it to the governor's desk. But also the importance of signing the executive order immediately that clarifies doctors can practice medicine without fear of prosecution. And look, like I said, this is a moral clarity issue that allowed me to understand these deeply complicated issues, these horrific outcomes that came as a result of the passage of the heartbeat bill. And I was wrong as the lieutenant governor, the president of the Senate, to think that room full of state legislators knew better than millions of women, because they don't. And a two-dimensional piece of paper will never represent the needs or the issues that are brought forward, and quite honestly is what a woman's toughest decision. And a legislator who's never met or never will meet that woman should not be making the most important decision in that woman's life.
Wow.
And one follow-up for you, Mr. Duncan. I mean, you just mentioned it, and you have mentioned it several times on the campaign trail. You were one of the original people who was behind the heartbeat bill. How would you accomplish that with a GOP-controlled legislature?
I think, once again, this is an issue that I've been kind of behind enemy lines on. I know the state legislators that aren't supportive of it, and they don't have the political cover. They don't have the political courage to stand up. And look, if they want to blame somebody, they can blame me to get up and do the right thing. I think the same thing follows on guns. I think the same thing's on public education. And the issues go on and on and on. Look, these folks have followed Donald Trump off a cliff, and they're ready for an exit. And if they want to be proud Democrats with me, the more the merrier.
Mr. Duncan, thank you. Ms. Bottoms.
The heartbeat bill needs to be repealed in the state. And it really is a travesty given that we have some of the highest maternal mortality rates in the state, especially as it relates to African-American women. We need to have the state restored to Roe standards where a woman could have the right to choose, and understanding that this is not just about abortion. This is about women who may be experiencing a miscarriage. This is about women who are in need of health care, and doctors are often afraid healthcare providers.
That's not true. That's so tiring to watch. And y'all, I'm gonna just stop. To watch a Black woman who has not had her own biological children sit here and cape and crash out, to encourage other women who do have children, who do have an active womb, to destroy the child in their womb. Man, that's just ridiculous. And that's why I can't rock with her. I can't.
Are afraid to provide it for fear of prosecution. The heartbeat bill is not in line with who we are as a state and the choices that women have had for over 50 years in this country.
Thank you, Ms. Bottoms. Mr. Thurman.
I will fight to repeal the heartbeat bill, but let's be clear. The repeal will not bring back the lives that have been lost as a result of this legislation. It is horrendous, it's an embarrassment, and
crazy.
all who made it possible have to shoulder the burden of that legislation. It's really not about abortion. It's about access to quality health care. We don't need politicians investing and intervening in the most personal decision that a woman could possibly make. This is a decision that should be between a woman, her faith leader, and the doctor. We have to get out of people's bedrooms. We have to move about the business that people should be involved in, and they shouldn't be involved in the personal decision that a woman would have to make in one of the most difficult points in her life. The repeal of the bill would be great, but it won't change the reality that we face today.
That's crazy. Y'all, this is so sad. They're sitting there saying that whoever supported the heartbeat bill, they have to shoulder the burden of lives that were lost, not the person who just deleted a child, who just munched up a child in his mother's womb. I'm sorry, man. That's I don't know how these people sleep at night. Now, I don't know how these people sleep. And it's funny that he's going to say, he just said, we don't need to be in people's bedrooms. So when they bring up the alphabet mafia in a few moments, I want to make sure that y'all make sure he stays consistent.
And just to clarify, you are saying that you would work to repeal it.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Thurman.
We turn now to this. Last year, the state legislature passed Senate Bill 1, known as the Riley-Gaines Act of 2025. It bans transgender athletes from participating in women's and girls' sports in Georgia public schools and universities. If you were governor and that bill came to your desk, would you have signed it or vetoed it? Ms. Bottoms, we begin with you.
Yes, I have 4 children. 2 are twins, a girl and a boy. I know that there is a difference between girls and boys in sports. What I am concerned about is that we are focusing on an issue that's not top of mind for people in this state. People are concerned about affordability. They are concerned about access to education. They are concerned about access to health care. I believe that decisions regarding who competes and how people compete shouldn't be happening. Those decisions should not be.
It's funny because I'm just going to stop, and because I've been thinking about this one. We watched this earlier today, and I just think it's telling because, or we watched it yesterday. Sorry, I think it's telling because they said affordability, access to education, and healthcare. Right? You know what makes things affordable? A scholarship. You know what group goes, which gender goes to school or colleges more? That's girls. So we have girls that are competing against boys for scholarships to go to college that could change their financial situation of their whole entire family. That could change their affordability. That's going to fix the affordability issue with them being able to get and secure a better job. And of course, healthcare. But the fact that this woman, again, like I just don't understand this. I just don't understand watching this Black woman crash out over this topic that truly, and again, they're gonna get on their high horses about this is moral clarity and loving your neighbor and blah blah blah. Miss me with that dumb stuff. It's sad to watch, man. It really is. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Made at the state capitol. Those decisions need to be made by the respective athletic associations based on their evaluations of who should and should not compete in certain areas.
And Ms. Bottoms, just to be clear, if that bill did cross your desk as governor, would you have signed it or vetoed it?
I don't support the government making decisions about who should compete in athletics. I believe that decision should be left to respective athletic associations.
So you would have vetoed it?
Yes.
All right. Thank you for your answer, Mr. Thurman. The same question to you. If that bill came across your desk and you were governor, would you sign it or veto it?
I would have vetoed it because it's really just a red herring that Republicans have used to generate votes on election day. Listen, we should never allow the power of the state to be used to bully innocent children, to create chaos in the lives of families who are dealing with very personal issues. Yes, I would veto it, but more than that, I would expose the hypocrisy of it and focus people back on the key issues rather than focusing on transgender sports that can be dealt with by athletic associations. Let's talk about.
But would you allow it to be dealt with by athletic associations? If the paying college decided that no females should be able to compete against males and vice versa, no males against females, would you be okay with that, Mr. Thurman? I'm pretty sure we could find your hypocrisy point. It wouldn't take a lot. Maybe in 3 questions, I could probably get to his own hypocrisy point. So you want to expose hypocrisy, sir. I'm going to find yours.
Helping people pay for the price of groceries. Let's talk about getting more health care in rural Georgia. Let's talk about creating good jobs. Those are the issues. When I travel around Georgia, you know what the voters tell me? Mike, we're tired of the foolishness under the gold dome. We are hurting. We can't afford insurance. We can't afford groceries. I can't afford my rent. Focus on the issues that working people are most concerned about. And frankly, transgender sports is not one of those issues.
Thank you, Mr. Thurman. Mr. Duncan, the same question to you. If that bill came across your desk, would you sign or veto it?
You know, one of the worst things Donald Trump and his MAGA sock puppets have instituted in this country is just an environment, an ecosystem of hatred. They've demonized so many different people and ways of life. One of the reasons why I stand here as a proud Democrat is I don't have an asterisk mark next to loving my neighbor. I get to wake up every day and love my neighbor as is. You know, in this issue in particular, is not an issue that comes up often on the campaign trail. It's a very small portion of the population, a very fractional part of but a very important part of the population. Folks are talking about the affordability crisis. They're talking about the healthcare crisis. They're talking about the Donald Trump crisis. That's the heat map of concerns amongst Democrats, independents, and yes, even this batch of disgusted Republicans that are showing up that are hopefully going to support us in this campaign so that a Democrat for the first time in nearly 30 years is able to win this governor's race. As governor, I would have vetoed the bill. Because at the end of the day, this bill was not about making a difference. It was about simply picking a fight and proving a point. I think at the end of the day, this conversation needs to be had in small circles, in communities, and not sitting at the legislature trying to worry about their next bail piece in a campaign.
Thank you so much, Mr. Duncan. Our next question is about Medicaid expansion. Our first response going to Mr. Thurman. And we ask you this: under the Affordable Care Act, states are permitted to expand Medicaid coverage to adults making as much as 138% of the federal poverty level, which in 2024 was about $21,000 for a single person. Many states have opted to expand Medicaid, but Georgia has not. Instead, Governor Brian Kemp has rolled out the Pathways program, which caps Medicaid coverage at a lower income amount. If elected, would you expand Medicaid in Georgia? Mr. Thurman, you have 60 seconds.
Absolutely. Yes, I would. And I know how to do it. As the DFACS director, we face a very similar situation with the Welfare Reform Initiative. In the first year of my administration, we are going to expand Medicaid in Georgia, but we are going to expand it from the inside out as opposed to the outside in. Because Governor Kemp has refused to expand it, there's been a legislative effort. As your next governor, and by the way, in Georgia, the governor controls 90% of the budget. We will expand Medicaid. And by the way, the people who most need Medicaid expansion are working people. They are people who are working, but they either earn too much or not enough. And so consequently, we ought to help working Georgians who are working every day, can't afford to purchase it or not available to purchase it on their jobs. I'm here for working Georgians. I'm here for all of Georgia. I'm here to make sure that we live up to our promise and our vision. Absolutely, we'll expand Medicaid, and I'll do it in my first year.
Mr. Thurman, one clarification question for you. You said you would expand it from the inside out, not the outside in. What does that mean?
It means the governor controls the budget. 90% of the budget is written primarily by the governor. The House and Senate often argues over the 10%. The right governor, Mike Thurman, sitting in the right seat, will appropriate the money to get it done. And by the way, we won't necessarily need new money. You can redirect existing dollars to fund Medicaid for more Georgians.
I have another follow-up, but we do need to move on. I'll get you on a one-on-one interview next time. Mr. Duncan, what is your answer to that question?
In 2014, the legislature passed a law that requires the legislature to be the ones that expand Medicaid. So we will have to work with the legislature to expand Medicaid. I do believe a majority of Republicans are in a position where they understand that the fiscal effects of the federal 9-to-1 match is too significant to ignore it. There's rural hospitals closing, there's services being lost. And so we've got to expand Medicaid. I think this is an issue that Republicans are dead wrong on. And I think it's an opportunity for us to really move our feet on the issue. And it brings not only health care to rural parts of the state and urban parts of the state, but it also brings economic development. In many of the rural communities, the largest economic engine is the hospital, is the healthcare system. But there's medical deserts all over the state, and looking for opportunities to expand that payer mix so that hospitals and providers don't have to just have 50% of their patients that can actually pay the bills. They can actually have somebody show up. Look, another reason why I stand here as a proud Democrat is I got tired of driving by a hospital waiting room, watching a family make the toughest decision of their life, whether they go in and bankrupt themselves or they stay home and deal with it on their own. On my watch as governor, we'll expand Medicaid so Georgians can show up to the hospital with insurance.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan. Ms. Bottoms.
There have been multiple opportunities for Republicans to expand Medicaid in the state over decades, and it has not been done. The poverty level needs to be reduced to 100%. In my first 100 days in office, one of the first things that I will do is to begin to prepare our state agencies for that expansion. I do believe this is a bipartisan issue. It's impacting rural communities. It's impacting urban communities. Healthcare is something that we should all be concerned about. At the point that you hear Marjorie Taylor Greene discussing healthcare, you know that there's an opportunity for buy-in across this state from legislators across this state. It has been a failure on the part of the state, on the part of Republicans in the state, and it needs to be fixed immediately.
Thank you all for those answers. Our next question comes on the topic of data centers, and in particular, data center development. It has become a major focal point at the state capitol and communities all across our state. CNBC reports that Maine, the state of Maine, is on track to pass a data center moratorium banning their construction in the state until November of 2027. Mr. Duncan, the first answer goes to you. Would you support the adoption of the same thing here in Georgia, a moratorium on new data center development?
We get asked this question just about every stop that we go to around data centers, and different communities have different answers. Some want to embrace them because it's a huge economic tailwind for their schools, for their streets, for their civic setups and infrastructure. Some are vehemently against them. So I think the answer lies in allowing the state legislature, the state government to force those decisions, to let locals make those decisions. If they want a data center, that's great. Have a data center. If you don't want a data center, then you ought to have the ability to veto the data center. But I also think it expands to making sure that ratepayers aren't shouldering the cost of the infrastructure, the grid, the generation, the transmission lines, making sure Georgia Power and other utilities are able to push those risks and those costs onto the balance sheets of those large corporations that are out there. I also think this is a unique opportunity for us to be innovative in Georgia. Instead of using 15 million gallons of raw water a day, maybe we require them to use closed loop water systems so that they don't use those precious resources against the community. But at the end of the day, we need local control, innovation, and making sure that the ratepayers are fairly represented.
Mr. Duncan, a follow-up for you. You point in your answer to local control and local community involvement. Do you think state lawmakers and the governor in particular has any role and should have any role in controlling whether data centers continue to be developed here in Georgia or not?
Yeah, I think there's some tools and resources that we can afford them, special use permits to require as a precept that if they want to build a data center and the economics are working out well, that they have to use those closed loop water systems, or they can only use a certain amount of noise variance or whatnot. But I also think we got to have transparency in these local communities. A lot of the rub that we hear is county commissions, city councils are passing these data centers across, allowing them to be zoned, and then the communities vehemently against it. We need to make sure those are public conversations and making sure those communities have that discussion.
Ms. Bottoms, the next answer goes to you. Would you support or oppose doing the same thing as Maine and instituting a moratorium on data center development?
I think we've moved too fast on data centers. I think in our eagerness to attract them to the state, there were too many unknowns that haven't been conveyed to our communities. There are communities who have supported data centers through their economic development agencies like Columbus, $77 million in property taxes to the city of Columbus. But what I'm hearing directly from people on the ground in Columbus, what they are saying is a message that we are hearing across the state. People are concerned about rising utility costs. They are concerned about the drain on the environment, the impact, the unknown impact. I think that we need to take a pause to assess where we are, to determine the difference between fact and fiction, and then proceed. I think it's irresponsible for us as a state to continue on this path.
When you say pause, just to be clear, are you saying you would support a moratorium on development?
I would support a moratorium, and it means bringing everybody to the table. It means bringing people who are experts in environmental impact. It means bringing utility providers like Georgia Power to the table. It means bringing economic development leaders to the table, but it means bringing the community to the table to have a comprehensive conversation and a deep dive on what these data centers are meaning to our state right now.
Thank you, Ms. Bottoms. Mr. Thurman, the same question to you.
Thank you. What I would do, number one, is respect the sovereignty and the power of local governments, particularly in cities and counties, especially as it relates to land use planning. However, there is a role for the governor and the state. Georgia provided nearly $500 million in tax incentives to data centers. As the governor, number one, we would make sure that those incentives are being reciprocated to the people of Georgia. When you approve a data center, whether it's in rural, urban, or suburban Georgia, the ratepayer statewide is bearing the burden of sometimes providing the power to these centers. This is where I stand on it. Number one, the billionaires who are profiting from the data centers should help and must bear the cost and the burden for building them and for building infrastructure. Number two, we have to protect our natural resources, particularly groundwater. And number three, the owners must invest in building in Georgia the most AI proficient workforce in the world.
Mr. Thurman, one follow for you, 30 seconds. You said billionaires must bear the cost of this development. How would you enforce that? How would you actually make them bear the cost?
Well, first of all, if we can incentivize people to come, we can set the agreement and the expectation like we do with any other industry who comes to Georgia. We can say as a governor that we would love to have you here, but you're going to have to shoulder your share of the burden. If you can't do that, then you will not have access to the incentives that Georgia could offer.
Thank you all for those responses. It is time now to move on to our closing statements. We're going to begin with you, Mr. Thurman. You have 30 seconds.
I'm Mike Thurman. I'm the best qualified person in this race. I've been elected 3 times statewide. I've helped hundreds of thousands of Georgians get back to work. I reduced taxes. I'm tested, I'm proven, and I'm ready to serve the people of this great state. Urban rules suburban, you will have an advocate and a seat at the table in the Thurman administration.
Thank you, Mr. Thurman. Mr. Duncan, the floor is yours. You have 30 seconds.
As I mentioned, it's been nearly 30 years since a Democrat's been sworn in, and we can come up with all kinds of reasons why, but the reality is you got to win more than the base to be the governor in Georgia. I'm building that coalition big enough of Democrats, independents, and disgusted Republicans. I'm talking about the things that most Georgians are worried about every day, the affordability crisis, the healthcare crisis, and the Donald Trump crisis. If we can flip this state and become a democratically run state, we can not only improve our direction, but we can improve the direction to the rest of the country. I don't only want to earn your vote, I want to earn your trust. DuncanForGeorgia.com.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan. We're going to close with Ms. Bottoms. 30 seconds to you for your closing statement.
I'm at least a 5th generation Georgian, being able to trace my roots to a plantation in Crawfordville, Georgia. So I know what the challenges and opportunities are in this state. I am a battle-tested leader. I've gone toe-to-toe with the Trump administration and won. I know that we need to focus on issues like affordability, expanding Medicaid in this state, on making access to education something that's available to everyone in this state. It's not just about what you will do. It's about what you have done when given the opportunity. And when given the opportunity to lead, I led on behalf of not just the city of Atlanta, but people across this state. And I am ready to go and fight for all of our communities to make Georgia a better place for our children.
And with that, we want to thank all of our candidates for coming here to 11 Alive tonight. And we hope that our voters, because that is the reason we're doing this, are more informed about their decision come primary day, May 19th. Of course, we want to thank all of you for watching here in Atlanta and all over the state. Zach, primary day is coming up pretty quickly.
It is coming up right around the corner. The primary is on May 19th, but early voting begins even sooner than that. That starts on April 27th. If you're watching your calendar or looking at your watch, that's less than 2 weeks away. Thank you all so much for being here with us tonight. Stay with us on 11 Alive Plus. Faith and I will be part of our debate post show coming up only moments away. Have a good night.
Okay, so shout out. Look at that pretty city. All right, that was interesting. Somebody asked, look, I think Duncan is going to be the most entertaining candidate. I'll be honest with you. I think Mike Thurman actually probably, if I have to be honest, probably has some of the better ideas. Truth be told, I think he probably has the better ideas. And more, and to that point, I think he's probably a little bit more reasonable. He doesn't sound like he has derangement syndrome, whereas Duncan sounds like he has derangement syndrome. I think he'll just be interesting to watch because he'll just start tweaking out on a debate stage. I think that'll be very interesting to watch. But and I'm sorry, Keisha Lance Bottom she doesn't come across to me as solid at all. I understand she was the mayor of Atlanta. I understand all that stuff like that. It just does not come across as confident to me at all. But what do y'all think? I thought that was very interesting. I am going to give you a lay of the land. I don't know all of the Republican candidates, but when they have their debate, I will we'll do that one as well. I'm gonna give you a lay of the land. So tomorrow is Friday. I got a couple videos dropping tomorrow, but I want to tell you that I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do Friday Night Lights tomorrow. Because y'all know tomorrow's my birthday. So I think I'm supposed to be hanging out with Lady Dear World Christian. I know we're going out on Saturday. So that being the case, I don't know if we're gonna do anything tomorrow night. Hey, you gonna do anything for me? She's probably not gonna do anything for me. But back to the race, where I was going. On Monday, Tiffany Henyard is supposed to be going before the Georgia Election Committee to talk about whether or not she's qualified or disqualified on the election, right? Okay, so I'm gonna do something different. I have put together a playlist on my channel of pretty much most of, there's a lot. I didn't realize how many videos I've done on Tiffany Henyard. The playlist has 180 videos in it, and that's not all of them. It probably would easily be 200 videos, easily. It's like 64 hours worth of content. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play it as a marathon starting on Saturday morning. I'm just going to play the whole playlist as a marathon so people can remember exactly who Tiffany Henyard is. If I did it right, if I calculated it correctly, when the video ends, that's when the hearing will begin on Monday. So I'm playing it from Saturday morning all the way to Monday lunchtime. And I just want people to remember exactly who Tiffany Henyard is and all of the shenanigans, all of the hijinks, all of the different issues that she had with the board, all that kind of stuff like that, all the scandals. We got it all. So it's a huge playlist. Actually, it's on my channel right now if you want to look on it and check it out. But I'm going to just play it. I'm going to start on Saturday morning, early Saturday morning, just let it play. So when you wake up on Saturday, you see I'm going live and you see I've been live, that's what it's going to be. Because I just want y'all to remember exactly who Tiffany Henyard is. Hopefully, prayerfully, the people in Fulton County will remember who Tiffany Henyard is. And they will not allow this woman to get a position or run for a position on the Fulton County Commission. They don't need that. Fulton County does not need that foolishness. They need to put a stop, pump the brakes to that complete and utter sham of a candidate, Tiffany Henyard. So that's what we're going to be doing. So tomorrow, I got a lot of fun videos popping up. I saw a lot of you all like my water talk video, which is craziness. Anyway, a lot of y'all like the water talk video. We're going to be moving around with some different types of content and so on and so forth. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. So definitely give me your feedback, all that kind of commentary. I do take it to heart. I do listen to what you all are saying. So when you give me good feedback in the chat or give me good feedback in the comment section, when you drop me a good email, so on and so forth, I try to give it a full listen and check out what you're talking about. Let me also just add that I will tomorrow, I believe, is the Tyler Robinson trial. Andrea Burkhart will be live streaming that. I'm actually my pastor and I are going to lunch tomorrow, and I'm going to be doing my first pastoral visit to Children's Healthcare to go visit a sick child tomorrow after lunch. So that being the case, I'm not going to be streaming the Tyler Robinson case. So definitely go check out Andrea Burkhart. She's going to be streaming that tomorrow. I want to say, don't quote me on this, I want to say it's supposed to be like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time or whatever like that. So definitely go check that out. Thank y'all so much for tapping in. My kids are crazy. My phone is going absolutely insane about whatever chief executive second born. And I hear my wife talking about it. So they're literally sitting right here. There's 19 messages. Why are they, what in the world? No, there's 49 messages. What are they talking about? Is she actually at the thing doing work? She's supposed to be doing tech, and she's over texting us. I love that girl. I love that child. That is my girl. Like, they are really going crazy. I thought my phone was buzzing, and I look over here. They have been just talking it up. 50 messages. I'm tapped out of that. Anyway, thank y'all so much for tapping in with us tonight. I really appreciate y'all. Let's do this again real soon. If anything comes up, Lord willing, if Lady Dear Wolf Christian allows me to, maybe we'll do a Friday Night Lights late or something like that. But the goal is to probably just drop some good videos tomorrow for your enjoyment. And then starting on Saturday morning, all the way to Monday, I got a crazy live stream planned. We're just going to go through and look at some of the craziness that was Tiffany Henyard so that people can remember it. So hopefully y'all will enjoy it and tap in, jump in every now and then, say what's up to you people. I really do appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for tapping in. Let's get ready to get out of here. Everybody, tip your waiters on the way out the door. Make sure you please drop green hearts on the way out. If you did not hit the like button, go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe. Hopefully I earned it, all that kind of good jazz. So until next time, everybody, grace and peace. Take care. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Witt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.